ones? Is it the rhythm bot we used? I'm so confused. It's one of the bots. I don't know. Usually Luca's here to like kick us off with.
Yeah, I can help you out.
Oh, thank you. Can you play? I don't know. Which one should we start off with? Should we do? What do you think? Any suggestions?
Isa's one.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Bambi. Hi,
Chocolate has
guys.
a new one.
Hi.
Hey, Sophia. How you doing, lovely?
I'm good. I haven't been on the server much this week, so it's nice to be back tonight.
Great. Did you just join, or did I mess over you when I was looking for ladies? I swear I didn't
No,
see.
I just jumped in. You asked for a suggestion, and the first one that popped in my head is my favorite one. It's the one by Isa. I can't remember the name. Go on home, empty globe, little globe, something like that. Go on home.
Okay.
I think it's that one.
You got it?
I love that one.
All right, perfect. That can be our first song. Roger,
Yep.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah, don't let me take over. How have you been?
I'm getting there. We're going to play your song, and hopefully that will give enough time for the ladies to come in.
Okay, great.
Hopefully we'll get more to join us. Roger, you got the song up?
I'm looking.
Give him a minute. Okay.
Go on home, Angry Glober. Yes, I found it.
Yeah, that one. I love that one.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi
Who's
there.
that said hello? Oh, hi. Oh, you're Babel Literalist. Hi, nice to meet
I
you.
am. Same here. Just thought
How
I'd
are
try
you
to help
doing?
out the ladies.
Oh, you're more than welcome. We're always looking for more women to come in and chat with us.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're more than welcome to jump in on any part of the conversation that you see fit. Give your opinion, answer any questions. We'll happily give you the floor to talk.
Alrighty. I tend to hang back, but I'll do my best.
Oh, you're good. You're all good. You can do whatever you like. Any part that you're comfortable in, we all excel in different areas. So.
Okay.
Oh, are you Paula?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I've heard so much about you, and it's all good things. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask.
I have to add that in there. No, it's all good things. It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you, but I didn't know your Discord name, so I was.
Okay.
It's lovely to have you in the server.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, Roger, you good to go?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Here it goes.
Show you the moon landing was
without fears, and we'll fight you for 400 more. I'm not spinning, I'm not turning on an axis. I'm centered on everything I see. So fuck your Google Maps, we wanna flood Earth back and live in reality. Go on home, angry global, go on home. Ain't you got no fucking home of your own? For 400 years, we'll fight you without fears, and we'll fight you for 400 more. If you stay, angry baller, if you stay, you will never be flattered with what you say. So go make a ferry, the curve has been buried, and piss off and leave us while you may. Go on home, angry global, go on home. What the fuck's Van Allen belt if not a dome? For 400 years, we'll fight you without fears, and we'll fight you for 400 more.
I haven't actually heard that one. That one was good.
I just adore that one. It's so chilled.
It's quite good. I like it. So we got Lilica here. I had to get Roger to take over because I don't know what I'm doing with the music.
Hey, hey.
Hi, Lulu.
No problem. Hello. Thanks, Roger.
Here to save the day. All right.
Yes,
well,
that
That
is
guy-
good.
Did Kai change her name?
yeah, Kai. She's on. She's
Plain
wait,
Jane.
Plain Jane. Yeah. Wait, she's changed. Either that she left or she changed it again. I think she's gone
No,
for
I
now.
think she left.
Oh my gosh, no. Did she change her name? No. Don't do that.
She did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
People who
was
change
changed,
their
but-
names
Why?
are so, ugh.
Yeah, do
I
you know
tell me
someone
about
who
it.
keeps changing their name?
I don't. It's
I know a couple. One thing that I'm happy about is you don't change your profile picture, so I can still tell who you are.
I was just about to say, if it wasn't for the picture, I would be so confused the whole time.
you know who
Wait,
does that?
don't give her any
It's
hints.
Brad. He
Yeah,
changes
but
his
at least, yeah, I don't know who. Like, Brad will message me, and then I get the message and my notifications. Like on Discord, he'll at me or something, and I have to take like a minute to figure out who the fuck it is. It's only when I click on it and I see the mod tag that I understand.
Yeah.
So, which one of Luluka's names have stood out for you, Bambi?
Oh my god!
Oh.
Whenever they were teasing her with the cheese names, I think those are funny.
Oh my
Those are my
gosh. Of course,
favorite
that would be one of your favorites.
I enjoyed the neutrino one.
Yeah. You had a doctor or a professor one at one point as well. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think it
Oh,
was
I
last
don't even
week.
remember. I can't keep
She
up.
goes through too many.
hmm Sometimes it's against
So-
my will, so
True. All right, then. We got a few people in who have come in from the lobby who don't have any roles. I'll check to see if there's anyone with VC verified. If you guys want permission to speak, if you don't have the perms, the VC verified role, you can jump up to the voice check-in and one of the gents will meet you up there. and they'll ask you a couple questions, and they'll give you a role that'll let you speak. Okay. If not, I'm just going to start speaking to the VC verified people. There's a couple. So that's specifically Andrew. If you want perms to speak, jump on up to VC check-in. Ubler. If you want perms to speak, jump up to VC check-in. I think everyone else in here has permission. Yeah. Nope. John M. If you want permission to speak, you can jump up as well. Yep, that's everyone. If not, you're free to just sit in here and listen. We might start unmuting you to ask you questions, maybe, if you feel like it. Okay. We got no more ladies joining us for now. That's alright. We
I hope
got...
Rio and Truth will come later.
I know, I hope so. Hope so. Rio tends to join with her time zone. She tends to jump in at near the end. Unfortunately, she comes in for like the last half hour with her time zone, which is a shame. But it's always good just to hear her rage right at the end.
Yeah. Have you guys heard her compilation? The flushes?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I
we'll play that
think
later.
I did, yes.
Yeah, they're funny. They're kind of like the numpty clips of Kiwi, except they're she's
Rage
got
clips.
flush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tends to get passionate, eh?
Oh yeah.
Just love it when that happens.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
she's
this
got like
time
little...
zone thing does make it difficult, though.
Yep, indeed. Oh, we got someone else. Toma S. You don't have perms to speak in here. If you want to jump up to VC check-in, one of the guys will meet you there and give you the permission to speak. And you can come down and ask questions. That's Toma S. Okay, we got some VC Verify. We'll see if they want to ask questions. Where did I see one? EMC Hammer. You got any questions you want to ask? You have permission over your mic. No. Don't have to if you don't want to. Just keep quiet. Oh, Mary Mum's in. Oh, sorry, Dandelion. Dandelion's in.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Hi.
How are you, Bambi?
Welcome,
Hi.
girlie.
Good to see you. Time was
Good.
flying. I didn't realize it was already 5:20 here. So yeah, because it's
Yeah.
so light out. We're getting more daylight
Yep.
now. So exciting.
Indeed, it is. How are you doing, my love?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yep. I've been having a good day. How about you?
Yeah, I'm getting there. One piece.
Good.
It's good to hear you're having a good one.
Yeah, I got a
It's
lot of
nice to
stuff
see you
done.
joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, good to be here.
It's starting off with a quiet one, I think.
Oh, the Globers are not coming in, hammering you with questions.
Fortunately not. Well, the first one that I spoke to isn't. And none of the other ones with the VC, with the no row, want to move up and get checked in. So, slow
I can
night.
imagine why not. This is the best time to do it.
Prime time. Okay, well, there's a couple more. There was a couple down the bottom that I saw. Who else is VC verified? Velser? I don't want to pronounce that wrong. Yeah, the little anime picture. Oh no, it's that filter. That's like a really cool filter you can get on Snapchat that makes your actual human into a character. It's pretty cool.
What's the
You
name?
unmuted. It's VELCER.
Mm.
I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, muted, but probably doesn't know anything to say.
Yes, his character looks very sullen.
Yeah, it's actually that's him, but with an anime filter on his face to like.
Oh, okay.
It's quite
That looks
trippy
like
because
Luke Skywalker.
yeah, they all kind of yeah.
Vel, sir, do you have any
That's
questions about the flat Earth?
Do
Who's
I have any
talking?
questions
It's
about
very
the flat
low.
Earth?
Yes. Do you?
Oh, it's down
No,
here.
I actually don't. I'm good.
Okay. How'd you end up here?
So I created some videos, and then someone said I should post them here, and I joined the server. Actually, I did ask a few questions earlier, but I'm very familiar with the flat Earth concept, and I've been following it for about 8 years.
Wow, it's a long time. 8 years. It's like 2013. Wow. And how did you come to find out about it originally?
Back when YouTube recommendations were more unfiltered, I got a YouTube recommendation.
Nice. So is this like something you spend a lot of time talking about?
Absolutely
Flat
not.
Earth?
I never really cared a whole lot.
Okay. Well, we're glad you came here. We care about it here. So
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome
May
to
I-
the server.
May I ask why you not, I guess, cared about it more nowadays to join a flat Earth server?
Sure. So while I believe that the Earth is flat, I just accidentally told some people around me that it was flat, and so I was put in a pickle. I wasn't able to, explain my perspective because I didn't fully understand what I believe. I just believed it. I just wasn't able to back it up with anything. So I started researching it this last week again just to brush up on some more on it, and I created some videos with lots of footage that I've collected over the years. While I say I didn't really care about the flat Earth, that isn't to say that I wasn't like
Yeah, I know what you meant.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of information for you to back up the claim. It's not just, obviously, you know, but it's not just something that we just made up, right?
Right.
are your videos about like observations you've done, or what are the videos about?
No, they're just compilations of NASA, the air bubbles floating through space, like as if they're underwater. The things that really make you ask questions.
Can we see one?
Sure, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
I want
can
to see it.
grab that real quick.
Yeah, that is one good thing about the Discord server is it can help you to explain it better to other people. Because you get to practice on random people that come in here.
Absolutely. All right, so I just posted that into the live stream voice text.
All right, I'm opening it. Rumble. I've heard of Rumble. I don't think I've ever used it before. Oh, I see. So you're publishing flat Earth propaganda. That's okay. I just put it in myself so that it would show the thumbnail.
Yeah. I mean, the definition of propaganda is basically that you're trying to bring someone over to the way that you believe, yeah? Well, not
Wow,
the
you made
exact
this
definition.
yourself? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I'll have to watch it later, but it looks well done. Yeah, that's your special talent. So most of the time now you just keep it to yourself. Is that how it is?
Yeah, I used to be very vocal about my belief of things, but I stopped. I think about 5 years ago, I just was unable to bring anyone over to the way I believed on things, so I just stopped trying. And most people have no idea that I believe anything different from them.
Yeah, so one thing, I would just suggest you can talk to people however you want, but I find when talking to people who don't understand the concept that the globe model requires belief in fairy tales or belief that these CGI images like the ones you put in your video are actually represent reality, but the flat earth is an objective measurement that doesn't require belief since measurement there's no belief involved. Have you, in your research, have you looked into the concept that if we lived on a globe of the radius of 3,959 miles, that objects should drop off in the distance at a rate of 8 inches per mile squared?
Absolutely, I have looked into that, and it was interesting. And that's really as far as I've taken it. I haven't tried to use that to prove anything to anyone, just because I have decided that I wanted to be lazy. That's really the simplest way to put it. I was lazy and a coward.
I understand that.
Yeah, so
I
one of the gents in chat has brought up a really good point about the video that you compiled. He says kill examples of NASA fakery, but it's not necessarily FE. So are you basing
so
yourself
FE,
on
what does FE mean?
Flat Earth? Sorry.
Flat Earth.
Oh, so that is one video showing off NASA, but I have 5 in a collection. One is flat Earth. No, multiple are actually flat Earth, but you can't just. I don't think that you can just take. Maybe you can. It's good to show the dishonesty in NASA. I think, too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. So I was just, I didn't know whether we were misunderstanding, but you have them about flat Earth as well. It's not just about NASA's lying, so Earth is flat sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Let me get one for flat Earth.
All right, sorry, it was just a misunderstanding, I think. They look very well put together, though.
Well, basically what I did was I've just collected a lot of videos over a lot of time, and I have compiled them together, cut them, clipped them, and they're not all my original content. I've just stolen it from like hundreds of places and compiled it into one video.
All right, okay, nice. You say you've been doing this for 8 years? Like, just looking into it in general?
Lazily.
Right, yeah, I get you. Yeah, for some people it's a big thing in the sense of it takes over their life. So there's people in here that all they think and do is about the shape of the earth and the lie, and for other people it is more lazily, like you know the truth and that's what matters sort of thing. You're not going to put yourself out of your way to, everyone's different. They take different things in their stride. But no, it's a pleasure to have you on the server. Hopefully you'll be able to maybe brush up on, if you're speaking about it to family or friends, you'll be able to back it up with some solid evidence and stuff, like the math side of things. And
yeah, I'm actually very intrigued by the idea of talking in this Discord server and listening to you guys and just seeing all of the different arguments. It would be very interesting to be able to just talk about it comfortably with anybody.
Yeah, that's the
answer. My recommendation is stop saying that you believe in flat Earth, because that's, if you're going to talk to anyone, they're the ones that have the belief. They're the ones that have the positive claim. Our experience in reality is that the Earth is flat and stationary. Our experience does not actually need to be proven. You can easily disprove the globe and show them that they are what they hold as a belief, and what we experience is an objective measurement. Just a suggestion. So anybody else has any questions or ideas?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell
yes,
us how you
hello.
say your name. How do you say your name?
Erignis. It's from Heidegger. It means the event. It means the event.
Means what?
Event. The event.
Event.
Yeah.
Event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have 2 questions. One is it's a practical question. Is it possible to buy a large poster on the wall of the flat Earth map? I have a globe and I want to compare flight paths.
I know people have these. I mean, does anyone else? I've seen a poster, I think, of the Gleason's map. I don't know. I'm sure there are posters. I don't have one. I don't know. Does anyone else have one?
There are some sites where you can actually get an image put on a canvas. I could send you some flat Earth maps, really old to more modern ones, or I could just send them in the live stream.
Okay, well, I was thinking of, the one in this Flat Earth app, if I just want to have it, of a larger size. I just flew from Los Angeles to Frankfurt, and it was, the flight path went right south of Greenland. It was from 34 degrees to 48 degrees. I don't know what business it had to go, so close to Greenland. And I'm also noticing, in flying, I'm noticing. Hello? I'm just.
No, we can hear you. Yep.
You can hear you. Okay, it's something that I'm
sound
so
loud and
unused
clear,
to.
loud and
Sorry,
clear.
I'm noticing that they no longer show flight paths, but it's this very weird. I don't know if anyone else has noticed a very weird display where you have something constantly moving. You look at the airplane from the side, from the front, from the top, and it's constantly moving, and it's impossible to integrate it as one flight path. And I think it's very suspicious. But my real question, and this is something I don't know if it's been discussed or whether there is a video about this, but I'm confused when it comes to imagining what the sun path looks like in the southern hemisphere. I mean, I understand that the sun goes faster when it gets to the Tropic of Capricorn, or is it Cancer? No, Capricorn.
Capricorn's
So
about
when
a
you're
step further to go, yeah.
so when I've never been below the equator, but I just wonder what I don't have the spatial imagination. But if you're standing in Australia and you're looking up, how does it affect what you see, the fact that the sun goes faster? I also, I looked up like the length of days and nights on the same latitude in the north and in the south. And I don't know whether they're lying, but they seemed about the same. Like I went to Ushuaia, which is something like 58 degrees south, and the corresponding latitude somewhere in England, like north of Yorkshire. And I looked at the shortest day and the longest day in both places, and they were about the same. And I'm thinking that on the flat Earth model, should they be the same if the sun goes faster? I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but can anyone address it?
Well, I think, we can't, anything that you're seeing from any official sources, I know we can't always be sure that what they're saying is accurate, because I know there are fishy things about flight times and flight paths, and when people actually take these flights, they often have a different experience. But like if you look in do you see the icon of the server where there's like the sun when you're okay? Well, let's go way back to the beginning. Let's go way back to the beginning. Were you talking about the Flat Earth app? Were you talking about the clock, the Flat Earth clock app? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so you're looking for something that would be a map like that.
Yes, so I can hang it on the wall and then compare.
Giving you suggestions. Can you see the live stream voice text, which is the channel right above this one?
I just see the live stream.
Voice text. I can ping you in there. I already did. I sent a video from David Weiss, which shows how you can actually have the same amount of daylight in the latitudes north and south of the equator, but you just won't see the sun the same way. And if there's a firmament, which many religions and many ancient cosmologies show that might allow the light to wrap around, and this guy demonstrates it pretty well. He doesn't get it perfectly, but he gets it like 96% right.
Okay. So it's this idea of what do you call these gases in the atmosphere that get illuminated, so that the light is not from the sun itself, but it's from these. Gosh, what are these gases called? That like you have in a neon light.
Neon? Yeah.
Neon like gases.
I'm not that familiar with that, but I know there's a YouTuber
No,
called
okay.
Dan Dimension, and he
No.
goes over that a lot, where he talks about how day and night or at least could be affected by the gases and the sunlight somehow charging them.
Right,
In
right.
the video I sent where you get the day and night, it has nothing to do with gases. It just shows like a dome magnifier and the light above it.
Right,
I wanted
right.
to
I
check
see
that
it
out.
now. Yeah.
Because when I was first learning about flat Earth, my mom found something on Ushuaia, and I think this explains it really well.
Okay, I will look
But,
at it.
Oh, sorry, it's Ladies' Night. Oh crap.
Oh, no worries. You're good, man. Thanks for explaining. I just wanted to add that I do think that the gases do have something to do with how we see the light as well. But it's not just one variable, right? There's multiple things that affect what we see and how we see them. I'm gonna post a video. I don't know. Probably you've seen it. It's an older video, but I'll post it once I find it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time to imagine, like, whether you see more of the sky or more of the light when the sun goes faster. Like, one day I'm going to travel to Australia or somewhere in the southern hemisphere and film sunsets and sunrises and see what I see. How
Yeah, we have a lady, Becky from Australia, who she's told me just her personal experiences that, and I think pretty sure this is measured by people. I actually don't know where to show you that it's documented, but she says the sun sets like quicker there, that from the time when that the light just goes away a lot faster, which makes sense because that's further to travel when it's down there.
Yeah.
In the same period of time, so it has to go faster.
Yeah, and one explanation as to why things don't grow as well in the I'm thinking of South America, where these savannas, the grasslands, and in Australia, even though there is some rainforest areas, but they still look kind of, I don't know, they don't, like I watched a documentary about Tasmania, and even though it's green, it doesn't look lush to me. So I wonder, whether it has something to do with the sun going faster and not having enough time to heat the soil. As opposed to, I live in Sweden, and even though it's pretty cold here, but you have very sweet berries in the summer because the sun is out for such a long time and they have time to ripen. Yeah.
Does anybody have the video from Dan Dimensions about light? You guys know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I think I found it.
So how did you, Aragnes, how did you come to understand the truth about the flat Earth?
I think it was about 3 years ago, and I think that what really got me was the claim that you could see very far, because when it comes to the physics laws, like, who knows, there's so many different effects and there are ways of eliminating different variables. But when it comes to the distance, trigonometry is trigonometry. So this summer I went to the south of Sweden, and I don't have any like definitive proofs, but I bought this P1000 camera, and I was taking photographs of Denmark across from Sweden. And first of all, there, like on the clear days, there were so many airplane, these chemtrails. I mean, I don't know what they are, but there were so many of them. Like the sky looked like it was just covered by a grid of airplane trails. But the pictures I could take, they were just too far. I was in this place that was the closest distance between Sweden and Denmark, 21 kilometers. But of course, I don't know if I was exactly there. And I was filming some or taking pictures of some apartment buildings that must have been further, because you cannot have a building right on the water edge. And I just saw, despite these things in the air, I mean, I just saw much more of this building that I should have been able to see. And then I went there's like a famous lighthouse. I'm trying to think what it was.
How far is Denmark? How far is Denmark from Sweden?
Well, that I was there where it was the closest distance, 21 kilometers. It's I don't know, in miles it would be maybe 15 miles or something. That's the closest distance. But
yeah, that's quite an observation. Did you take a picture?
I took a picture, but I didn't measure. I don't know how far it was exactly. I could not verify how high I was above the water level. So it was just for myself. I wanted to, prove it to myself. So I estimated that I was about. So it wasn't a real experiment. It was just to see for myself that I could really see that far. I saw the entire apartment building, which it would have been like 20 meters. I estimated that 20 meters of this building should have been hidden. And then I went to...
only 20 meters. It's like should be more. Oh, okay. 20 meters is a lot. I'm not used to meters. Yeah, because we have a whole website of observations that you should be able to see on the globe. I was just thinking, but I don't think that particular one in there. But that's interesting. I mean, if you did have it documented,
and then and then I went to this. I don't know. I'm having a senior moment here, but I went to this lighthouse, and it was 78 meters above ground, and I talked to the lighthouse keeper. And they asked him, how far can you see from this, and he said, on a good day, we could see way beyond 50 kilometers.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things about lighthouse, even like old, records of lighthouses and how far they could see, how far they can be seen. Roger wants to know the place names. I think like towns, if you have, because he's over in that area of the world. Like, do you know what town you were near by any chance?
I don't remember right now. I have to look it up, and I have to look up. I was near this lighthouse, and I have to look it up where the shortest distance between Sweden. It was on the southwest, was some southwest point of Sweden. So I showed the lightkeeper the curvature calculator that at this 50 kilometers you should not even see tall ships. He said he could see small boats really well. So I showed him the calculation, and he was puzzled. He was like really scratching his head. So I left him at that. I don't know if he continued.
Yeah, because I'm looking up 20 meters is 65 feet, which I think that is what's expected. That's the kind of drop that's expected at 10
Mhm.
miles. So if you were like, you said you thought it was more than 20 miles. So yeah, it should have been even more than
Yeah,
10 meters
well,
in
it was
spirit.
how high I was standing. I think
Oh
when
yeah,
I
place 10.
calculated, I was standing. I wasn't like at the water's
Well, gosh,
edge, but
you are just selling yourself short. You were thinking of all these details. I don't know, but maybe you can go do it again sometime too.
yeah, but it was so irritating that there were all these trails in the sky. I just suspect. I mean, it was not natural. They were very long. They stayed for a long time, and so my hypothesis with these so-called chemtrails that maybe it's not just any chemicals, but it's just water vapor when they realize that people can see too far, and they're spraying water.
Why they
Who
do it,
knows?
I think it has to be more than water.
Mhm.
I mean, I've seen some of the shapes of it. It doesn't just fan out.
Mhm.
It makes like what I call the half zipper is one of them, where it's got little knobs going off one side, and it'll start, stop, start, stop. I've seen the dash lines. I've seen color lines, black lines. I mean, I just can't believe only water would do that.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we're glad that you found us. How did you say how you found us? I don't think you told us.
How I found you?
Yeah.
Well, I've been a member for a long time, but I just don't know how to use these features. I don't remember honestly how I found
well, you
you.
figured it out. So yeah.
Oh,
here
you
are.
know what? I think I know. I think maybe it was under some flat Earth video. It said go to flat Earth
That sounds
Discord.
lovely. Are you a female person or a male person? Are you a female person?
Me, is my voice that low? I'm a
No,
female.
you sound like a female. I just thought, no, I wanted to say, are you female? But then if you weren't, you'd be offended. So I'd say, are you female? Are you male?
Yeah.
No, I just, because I'm only asking because we're doing ladies' night. So if you were interested, I would give you the ladies' night tag so that we could,
okay.
So that we could ping you when we have ladies' night, which is every Friday. Like
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, I know I have a low voice, but
No. I totally just assumed you're a woman. If you pull everyone in here, that's what they would assume, right, guys?
Yeah. Okay.
No, you totally sound like a female. It's just these days,
That's all right. I've got a low voice too, so you're fine.
Yeah, I think if you didn't sound like a female, they wouldn't let you talk that long.
Okay.
That's right. Yes, exactly.
Right.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So there's a couple people here who don't have VC verified. Like, oh, Andrew, he's already in cognitive dissonance. You must have done something bad. Anthony has no role. So I see that Roger's in VC check-in if anyone wants to go up there that doesn't have a role to get the VC verified role. And yeah, there's a bunch of people in here, ladies. There's a person down at the bottom, right under Zophers, with a whole bunch of letters I can't read. If you guys have any questions about the Flat Earth, now's a great time. Zophers with your Listerine Total Care avatar. Ton of new people. So speak up. It's a good time to talk.
There's a person with a Russian name. I can't read that, so I'm going to rename you to Russian Guy.
Is that
That way
Russian?
we
I
can-
thought it was, but
I think it's Russian. It's probably not Russian, so
that's
speak up
not
now or
Russian.
forever hold your... No, it is.
The one at the bottom?
Speak up now or forever hold
the
your
one
peace.
with the little weird pink thing on the head, and yeah, I don't know.
Right below Zopher?
Yeah, that's the one. Just call him
No,
below.
that's not. That definitely not Russian.
Yep. Well, it's Russian until he says otherwise. So you got to speak up and correct me.
I just named him
Yeah.
Zophers' neighbor. I think that'd be easier if he's not going to talk.
Pet. I
But
think that's
Zophers unmuted. Zophers wants to talk. I saw him.
I think that's a lady too. Hello, Zophers.
Okay, I'm just listening.
Cool. Would you
Okay.
like the ladies' night tag like Aragnis just received?
I don't really have much to add. I'm kind of just curious, so I'm just listening along.
Okay, so I'm just asking if you would like the ladies' night role so that you can
Oh, I'm okay. It's
be
fine.
associated with this. She does not want that. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. You're welcome to listen. What about
Hello.
Snowflakey? Snowflakey, have any questions? Did you guys talk to Snowflakey already?
Yeah, he's a regular but he is a Glober, I believe, or on the fence. So we could talk to him.
Snowflakey, are you a Glober? Oh, Bambi named that person Name Confusion. I like that. That's much easier to read than the other thing. So, Aragnes, hopefully you'll be able to see the live stream voice text. You click on the channel right above this one because people gave you a whole bunch of maps, links,
Yeah,
ideas, all
yeah.
kinds
I
of
think I
stuff there.
found it. I think I found it.
Good.
It goes very fast. Thank you. Yeah.
Snowflake, you said 1 sec. So if we're lucky, we'll get to hear from him.
Can I ask another question if nobody
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
is talking? Yes. So I'm just looking at one of these pictures with a very long tunnel corridor. If you have a large light, if you have a tunnel, very, very long tunnel, and if you have a very large light that touches both the bottom and the top, and then you walk away from that light very, very far, does this light begin disappearing both from the top and from the bottom if it touches both the top and the bottom? Because I know that it would disappear beyond the bottom, so to speak, if it touches the bottom, like if you have a Lego something piece on the floor. But if this piece, whatever the light or the piece, if it touches both the top and the bottom and you just move it very far, does it begin to disappear both from the top and from the bottom? Sort of like the ceiling also covers it? Does it make sense what I'm asking?
Are you asking about the image the Breaking Down Wall of Lies put up there, where it says, "Are the lights dropping"? Is that the one?
Yeah, yes, and usually when they talk about the sun or the ships disappearing behind the horizon, it's because on the bottom, so it's the on the bottom you have a surface, and on the top you don't have, you just have the sky. There is no. But what if you had the surface both on top and bottom at the same time? Would your thing disappear? Would the bottom and the top disappear? Maybe I need to draw the picture of what I mean.
Maybe so, unless somebody really understands.
Yeah.
Are you saying like in the example of the boat, like the top of the boat as well as the bottom of the boat would disappear?
Yes, if the top of the boat touches some solid surface instead of being free in the sky, would the top of the boat also disappear because of the optical?
If there was a physical thing that was covering it, but in reality, like there's just air, and if it's like the atmospheric condition is clear enough, then the bottom one would only disappear because you actually have like a physical.
Right.
It would also be, the problem is eye height, observer height, because it's the angle from your eye to the horizon. And if you're looking at the top of the boat, it wouldn't matter if there's something close to the top of the boat because your eye isn't up there. You see what I'm saying?
Well, if I didn't have any size, but I just had an eye that was, looking through the camera, or if my eye was exactly in the middle, if there was a big object that was touching the ceiling and the floor, and my eye was exactly in the middle between the ceiling and the floor, and the object was receding from me into, infinity, would it start disappearing if my eye was exactly in the middle? Would it start disappearing from the bottom and from the top at the same time?
I know what you're trying to say. I'm trying to like picture it in my head. I would have to look at it, but it's kind of like when you're walking. If you see what Dandelion posted at 54 minutes past the hour, like if you had the ceiling as well as the floor, and you're just walking straight ahead. I think, like from your perspective, I don't think you'll see. Well, that's actually an interesting question, but I don't think you'll see the top being covered up. I'm trying to imagine it. It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I just
This is my thing. This is just an opinion, but I think because you're actually physically touching the ground, you will see your quote unquote feet disappearing. But if you were, let's say, just floating midair, right?
Yeah,
and you're just
floating midair.
Yeah, if the object is going away from you in midair, like let's say there was a drone, I think the proportionate of it being disappearing would be equal, rather than the bottom being covered up.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to have this experiment. Yeah.
We'd also have to have the same exact gradient of temperatures and particles in the atmosphere as well, because the ground is going to have a lot more interference at least because of the thickness of the air, which would be a lot thinner up high. So you would have to make sure that you had all else equal and not just the angle. You also have to have the conditions equal to do that experiment.
I think I know it. I think I know what she's talking about, and I may if I get this wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me. But if the object that you're like, if whatever you're looking at, the point of convergence, if the object is like, if there's more distance, okay, I'm not going to use like the word angle or angular resolution or whatever, but if the object that you're looking at, if there's equal distance between the object and the bottom and the object and the top, then I mean the image will like compress, from the top to the bottom. But if the object is not in the center, and if it's like say a boat sitting on water, there's less of an angle, there's less of a distance between the boat and the bottom of your view, so the boat will start disappearing like from the bottom because the angle is less. But if there were a larger distance and a greater angle like between the boat and the bottom, then because you have like image compression from top and bottom, it depends on where the object you're looking at, like which one it's closest to, because that would reduce the angle, and then the image, the object would start being affected sooner from the lesser angle. I don't know if I said that right, but that's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, out in reality. Oh.
No, go ahead, keep going.
He said
Sophie
he
had something to say, but you should finish what you were going to say first, Lulu.
Oh, what I just wanted to write on what Truth said and what Literalist said. It's in reality, like when atmospheric condition definitely matters, but for what you were saying about that, like in a hallway where there's everything is controlled, then you might be able to. That would be an interesting experiment. But in my opinion, I think it will have like a proportionate disappearance.
Yeah, like a super long tunnel, like a super long tunnel, and some red door at the end of it that reaches the ceiling, like the red door that occupies the whole, or something like that.
Then I think it would be proportionate.
Yeah.
But if you just have it like from the bottom halfway up, then it would be, you would see it that way.
If you do it sideways, horizontally, then you'd have the same. If you're doing it outside, because you almost need to because of the distances that are required. Because if you can see 50, 100 miles, then it's not going to happen indoors. But if you if you wanted to eliminate the variable of the atmosphere, if you had things converge from the sides, then they would have the same air mass between them, and it would be a better test. I'm not saying it'd be perfect, but it'd be better.
Yeah, it would be an interesting test to prove that things disappear not behind the horizon, but on both sides. People say things disappear fall down the horizon. But if you did this test, you could see that things disappear below the both
But
above and below the horizon.
yeah, but that's like that argument doesn't it never made sense to me, because like they assume that things should disappear from the like, I don't get it, the top down. It just doesn't make sense. It's just the way our perspective works because of how, like you said, the eye height level, and atmospheric condition, and where you're doing this, all that matters. But
yeah, I mean, this is something that took me for a loop. Yeah.
Did you still have a question, Snowflakey?
What was that?
Did you still have a question?
No, I don't have a question. No, not really. But I'm not.
Hold on, you said 1 sec. You said 1 sec. My suspense was insane. I'm still waiting for that 1 second to be over.
You better make one up for BNB.
I needed to sort my mic out.
No, I'm upset. I've been waiting way more than 1 second. You didn't even let me know.
I weren't being rude. I wasn't interrupting. You was too busy chatting.
Give us something.
I'm being honest.
Tell us your story there, Snowflakey. Do you think you live on a globe, or do you accept objective reality as it presents itself?
No, it's definitely not a globe.
Definitely not a globe.
Oh,
all right.
I might have mistaken you then for somebody else. My bad.
I do swear flat because of the evidence out there, but I mean, do we actually know what we live on? Where are we? You know what I mean?
You know it's not a globe, but you haven't decided for sure what it is.
No, yeah, but you guys can't answer the questions that I've got. Nobody can.
Oh, nobody can answer his questions, Bambi. That sounds like a challenge.
Bring it.
Yeah, Lulu's ready.
There's just no evidence to my questions, so
Oh, are you asking about what's up in the sky and stuff like that?
I just want to know where we are.
Well, I mean,
we're here.
Probably in your house. It's like 11 p.m.
Yeah, well, come on. Where's this plane? Oh, hang on. Where's this flat plane that we live on? Where is it? It's not in space, is it? It's not in the universe.
Oh yeah,
no. But what's that fallacy called where you're having to replace something?
I'm in Wigan, mate. Wigan.
Equivocation, I think.
Yeah, like we don't have to replace the fact that you're in space. I mean, we're telling you that that's impossible. We don't need to.
No,
replace that with something else.
That's my question. I mean, what do we live on, and where is it? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a question that we are never going to be able to tell you. We can suggest to you.
I stated that to you that you won't be able to answer my questions.
So all your questions are questions that no one can answer.
Yeah.
So is the Earth flat to you then?
It's yeah.
Yeah, you don't sound convinced.
Well, I don't know. I've not seen it with my own eyes ever. So.
But have you seen anything other than flat?
Well, yeah, I've seen plenty of proofs that it's flat. Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you seen? No, I mean, have you seen anything other than it being flat? Because you're saying you've not seen it with your own eyes.
I've not seen nothing to prove that it's a globe. Nothing.
Okay. Well, that's a great place to start.
Nobody has, unless you believe what NASA tells you, and they're just full of shit. Because it was thanks to them that I woke up. To be honest with you, do you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I've got to thank them, to be honest, because they woke me up. Once I started, I've always been into the universe and stuff like that growing up, but I used to watch as much shit about space and planets and whatever you can find, back in the day on YouTube and that. But then you realise it's just all bullshit and CGI, innit? So
yeah,
and then
it's so easy to fake something like that. And you would think if we were living on this. If we were living on this massive ball, that there should be like a measurement, something that we could do, but there's nothing.
There's nothing. No, nothing. It's bullshit. So
Someone's hot micing. Sorry.
it's bullshit. So yeah, it's got to be flat. You know, I do believe in that that flat Earth map where we're surrounded by ice. I believe that's probably our little place that we live in. Is there anything beyond that? Who knows? You know.
Don't know. I mean, again, I don't think that answer's ever going to come.
No, it's not. It's not. But them are the sort of things that I want to know, but we're never going to find out, probably. I mean, where is it? Where are we? Is it? Are we in a simulation? You know, everything's
simulation.
I mean, it's a fake reality that we live in anyway, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we aren't required to answer those questions, but they're interesting to contemplate and to think about that there's still many areas of this world that have not yet been explored. I mean, these are all things that open up to you when you realize that the fantasy globe model is not reality and does not predict reality. It's just a made-up fairy tale.
Life
How
is...
long have you understood this, Snowflakey?
I've probably been awake about 11 years now. But I mean, I had a few girlfriends, like, you know, when I first woke up, and I like watching certain things, you know, and they were interested in that, and it's like you just stop watching stuff and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and you end up falling back into that old life routine, you know, doing what they're doing, that, and it's like it used to do me head in after a while, and that I used to start to find out like what's going on in the world and that, you know what I mean, because that's all I watch now these days. Just keep up on what's going on in the world, to be honest. I don't watch TV, none of that shit. No. I don't mind coming in here on a Friday night listening to you guys, but during the week I just watch all types of other shit, you know what I mean? Especially with all this what's going on in the world, because I mean, I know you talk about flat Earth, but what's that other one that you created? This Would I Lie to You? What's it called? Why Would They Lie?
Oh, the
when
podcast?
did you do that one?
Yeah, Bambi can tell you about that if she's still here. Are you here, Bambi?
She's having mic issues.
Oh, she is. Okay, well, I'll tell you then, unless Lulu wants to. Yeah, did you get the link to this podcast? Why Would They Lie podcast? Is that what you're talking about?
I think I did, but I mean, is that another one that's on all time, or is that a certain day a week or something like that?
Well, they record it on Sundays, but I think Crypto's putting them out on Monday. I'll try to find the link to it, the intro.
So what do you talk about on that?
There you are.
What do you talk about?
Hello. We hear you.
Oh, hi, Bambi. Yeah, Snowflakey wants to know more about the Why Would They Lie podcast.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know if I cut out mid-sentence before, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Why Would They Lie, it's basically it's hosted by me, Crypto, Miggy, and Kai. Hi, is Kai. And it's not just about flat Earth, it's going to be about conspiracy theories in general.
Right, yeah.
So our first episode was flat Earth to kick it off.
I'll be joining that one as well. But when will that one be on as well?
When would the flat Earth one? When would it be uploaded? You mean, or
the Why Would They Lie night, or whenever you do that? When's that one?
Oh, it's we record. We don't really have like a set plan for it just now, but we have another server that when we're doing the recordings, people can come and listen to them live before they're published for the pre-show and stuff like that. So I can send you an invite to the server. You can come listen to it in there.
Yeah,
sure. I'll pop it in chat. Is Crypto in here? I think he's listening. Crypto, can you grab an invite? Also, am I allowed to? Oh, you're here. Am I allowed to say what our next subject is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Which one is it? Because I know we've got two
Like
lined
both?
up. I don't want to say both.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Okay, fuck it. Promotion, why not? So, okay, so our first episode, we had like a little introduction episode, and then it followed up with Flat Earth, where the beautiful Dandelion was our guest. And it's a great episode. Our next ones are going to be veganism / kind of only eating raw meat. So we're going to have a special guest being Arian, who is a strict meat eater, no veg, and we're going to hear his side on only eating meat, and he's very strong-worded on that. So that's going to be our next episode. Following one is going to be about global warming, and it is going to be how global warming doesn't exist from a glober. A glober saying global warming doesn't exist. Our special guest for that one is going to be Zanuck, who is a staunch glober and refuses to believe in global warming. So it's going to be an interesting episode, that one.
Oh, yeah.
So we have some... Yeah, I never thought we'd come across a glober that doesn't believe in global warming.
Actually, there are quite a few. I think there's so many people that because you know how Trump kind of discredits it, so
yeah, it's because
definitely.
space. I mean, space and NASA. I've talked about this recently. Used to be like a thing that the right wing were the most into, and the left wing were always like, "Oh, you should help the poor." Now you got everybody with their NASA hats. No longer just exclusively for the right wing. But I think that's where the globers come from. The space-loving globers, that might also agree that that this whole concept of global warming is unverifiable and might have ulterior money-making.
Global warming's bullshit.
Exactly. But that's going to be an interesting show hearing it from a glober. So he's a very sweet guy. And the word I was looking for is carnivorism. I couldn't get that out when I was explaining the next episode. So it's going to be about someone who's strictly carnivore. Meat. I think he even eats raw meat, if I'm sure. Like I think I've heard that as well. It's not like cooked meat. It's proper to the bone carnivorism. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting episode as well, followed by the global warming. Anti-global warming. Yeah. Stop figuring out titles for these shows. I'm supposed to be making posters and I don't even know what to call the episodes yet.
So I do have a question. Do you believe the, say, globalist elites of this world, do you think they know the truth of this planet, this plane we live on? Do you think they know?
I think some of them do. I don't think they all do. I think a lot of them...
but
yeah.
the top of the creme de la creme, do you think they know?
Yeah, I think like your Elon Musk, I think, yeah, definitely. I even think... Oh yeah, he fucking does. As well as Bill Gates as well, yeah.
I mean, whoever believes there's a Tesla up there is...
Your big cult leaders, those are the ones. Yeah. It's something that we always get asked is like, how can so many people lie?
They might know that we live on a flat earth, but, I mean, do you think they know where we are? What's
Maybe. I think so. I mean, one of the reasons to why they would lie is they might be covering up for something. I mean, there might be something beyond Antarctica. There could be, I don't know, more landmass. There could be anything. They could be hiding something massive. So yeah, I think if they know it's flat and they know they're lying, then yeah, I think they must know why.
Well, how come we've never heard anybody speak out? Somebody on the deathbed who've because some of them struggle to keep things secrets, don't they, about this and that?
I mean, there has been, in the sense of there was 2 astronauts, but no kind of high up top tier people. But there was a Polish astronaut and a Russian astronaut who both said that the Earth was flat. But yeah, no high up, elitist people.
An astronaut is not going anywhere anyway, is he? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not like he's going to go somewhere and say, yeah, well, we went there and we seen this. You know, they're not going anywhere, are they? They might go in a fucking one of them planes, what fucking fuck around or something.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no. In fact, I'll give you an invite. I'll send it in the VC and the text chat for the server, the Why Would They Lie server. One moment.
Oh yeah, because I like all this deep shit. I love having some deep convos about all sorts. It's just that a lot of people that I know are not interested. They just want lockdown ends, get the vax, and get back to fucking normal. And it's not happening.
Or what they perceive to be normal.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It says I'm already joined.
Yeah. Oh, you have? Okay, perfect. We'll send out a ping in there when we start recording.
Yeah, sweet.
So yeah, you'll be able to jump in and listen, and then it will be posted as well. So
Sophia is saying that Chocolate has a new song. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yes.
I was waiting for a break.
You may continue.
Whenever you guys are ready for it.
I'll wrap it up. Okay, so the last thing that I want to ask you is a special request. Snowflakey, it is from our very not so love crypto. Would like you to say the word goat, like the animal.
Goat.
Perfect.
Why?
It's your accent is perfect for it.
Wow, where's Crypto from?
He's a Londoner.
Oh, he's a Londoner, is he?
Oh my god, he server deafened himself and he missed it.
Asking, asking to say goat.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted you to say go. Oh, he's unserver deafened, Crypto. You missed it. I asked him to say go and he said it.
There's not many people talk like me around here, put it that way. Well, in this country.
No, you're one of the people that would be like, go down to a shop. Like, I love that. Alright. That was all. We can move on to playing Chocolate song if you'd like. Lilica.
Oh, yes. It's a dope song. There are a few curse words, so listeners...
No, I don't know Vernon
discretion
K.
advised. Sorry?
Crypto's asking me, do I know Vernon K?
Okay.
Vernon K live? Where does Vernon K live? I don't...
Okay.
I know Peter K's from Bolton.
All the K's.
I'm not sure where Vernon K is.
Snowflakey, I'm going to play a song, so take it to the chat until the song is done.
All
right.
Ask him, it says shit.
Yeah, no problem, man. So this is called Globe Tarts by Chocolate Saiyan. Here it comes.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Hey, yo. It's Chocolate Saiyan. It's 2021. Told you I was a rap for this globe. Check it out. Way too many reifications of privation. Secular thermodynamics violations. Fuck all these fake as apparent deviations. Globals always flapping their gums, no demonstrations. The black swan murdered the ball with simplicity. Pretend the clowns aren't they all, no specificity. Get with me, get that geometry. Your model needs nowadays. Mostly I sound like you're on your knees. Copper bleeds, with no ball to ever show for and nevermore. Been a rapper, you're more tonight, or scientific. All the sicker that they're prolific. Crumble at the dark of flat earth, that's just terrific. My hypothesis, paleo genius. You thought you had it all sewn up like a seamstress. You never see this, you ain't chilling peeping the Gleasons. The globe model so fucking dead. So many reasons mad at me. Cause your fairy tale of gravity is rapidly becoming a motherfucking fatality. Independent variable, no physicality. Factually, you're dealing with no type of reality. A tragedy, all of the pseudoscience of fallacy. Sad to see that was surrounded by such banality. Globe charts step in the court for their arraignment. Gas fucking off all day, and no containment, it's automatic. You sound like a fanatic, your heart's beating out of your chest, no need to panic. Problematic, anytime there was Socratic. Defining terms for you is like dust to an asthmatic or a crack addict, all tuned up like a mechanic. State you're leaving in when you're done, it's so tragic. You end the sneezing, all snotty nose the wheezing. You globe charts wind up like Sub-Zero freezing. Ain't no reason for you not to remain calm. As my nigga make it hit you with the 3-point palm. Instant exploding paradigm technique. Backslapping your beliefs into enigmatic sweep. Your points obliterated, finished, unable to speak. Have you looking like Tom Petty catching a leak? Your whole squad left sounding comatose. I hear Michelle Dollar keeps rocks on the head. She keeps her family close. Some of y'all think y'all the best things since butter toast. When it comes to FP, prepare to catch an overdose of intellectual honesty. The clear lack of thinking of you balls never cease to astonish me. I gotta keep it real and be honest, B. It's quite possibly the dumbest thing I heard since the cosmology is often seen as a philosophy, mythology, but actually it's a prophecy of religiosity. Get all your skills and your weight up. This crunch time, your whack model getting ate up like lunchtime. How in the hell could we establish a baseline? Most of y'all trolls are just here to waste time. I'm not aware of what you're hearing through the grapevine, but you must be out your mind selling space-time. A mathematical construct of imagination with absolutely no experimental validation. Before the story begins, you need a foundation. Curvature of the earth, that's the conversation. And since the shit up and disappeared without a trace, I'd say it's also time for you to say goodbye to space. Tall tales about vacuums, an empty place, all the while breathing air. That's just not the case. You best get out my face, cause I can guarantee you that the very air you breathe immediately fuck off the space. We understand no requirement for your compliance. You understand that you are standing in a room of giants. I admire that you're usual in your defiance, but won't you join us in this funeral of pseudoscience? You in the mood to try us? Go ahead and test your mic. These motherfuckers think they're moving at the speed of light. How about the speed of sound? 250 miles above the ground to see the ISS is going round and round. Please don't even try, son. It's been a rap since you gave up hope on your geometric horizon. In the trenches hoping and praying we don't get wise and realize you're smoking more of the grass than Neil Tyson. Oh, speaking of that clown, I wonder how much longer he can keep a pushing this in the background. Never debating, always up to the back down. Playing in fear of the gravitational smackdown. This little circus won't last long. I'm betting you the type of clown that sits at home alone with a mask on. Thinking you debunked an argument like the Black Swan. Never knowing that your radius could be that wrong. Oops, I really meant to say dead wrong. Implicitly, we've been falsified the globe empirically. Need you to listen, G. It's not logical to postulate you live in a sphere with no sphericity. It's the epitome. It's not a mystery. The globe model's all wrapped up in stupidity. It's quite simple, see. It's probably not the move for you to spew your rhetoric here or religiously. Maybe officially. One day you might find yourself vividly in the middle of an epiphany. Lyrical symphony. It's been a pleasure, but our times have both come to an end. Synchronicity.
Amazing. Well done, Chocolate.
Good job, Chocolate. I've never been disappointed with Chocolate's song, ever.
No, neither have I. It always exceeds expectations.
Yeah, man. And the link to the YouTube is in the chat. If you guys want to check it out, please go there and support.
One thing that I need to correct is, okay, so Truth misunderstood me when I was explaining the podcast. I'm going to out her here. Truth misunderstood.
Go ahead.
She thought I meant cannibalism.
I actually know a lot about that topic. Yeah, you could have that for a future podcast. That'd be interesting.
Meat's meat, though, right? I mean, it's nothing we would eat, but it would fall under the carnivories category.
Yeah, bless her. She was sending me videos to help us out.
Yes.
Maybe that's Truth Reveals secret knowledge that you have there. You an expert in that topic?
Oh, you mean the next podcast about Orion?
Yeah.
Not Orion. Arian?
Arian. Yeah.
I can't wait for the food wars. I can't wait, Bambi, for the food wars. It's
I know, right?
But I did see something really freaky that's why I even ever saved anything about it, because I'm not interested in cannibalism at all. But I suppose, according to them,
I don't know who is.
Yeah, no, I mean, but listen to this. This is how bad it is. Like the ones that do it, it's like they'll take people will volunteer and they'll let them while they're alive, slice parts of their skin off, and then they'll like, I don't know if they eat their own or if they eat one another, but then they let it heal, and then they just go back again, and yeah, while they're living, they just like
Wow.
fillet themselves. It's like crazy.
I love how she had to specify that she's not interested in cannibalism.
By far.
I know.
I'd be surprised. Hey, they might be one sitting here in this chat. You never know. Yeah.
All right, then.
Extreme weirdness going on in this world.
I put the topic forward to our chief editor, which is our
Maybe
topic
that
ideas.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Our topic ideas come from Indio, so chief editor has it now, and he can add cannibalism to the chat.
Yes, I was going to say that. That was what I was going to say.
It's one for Indio to look into. He can do the research for that one. I wonder if we're going to find a cannibalism to come on and
Oh God, I hope not. I hope they're not that common. I mean, really. But
Yeah.
you may.
Is Jeffrey Dahmer still kicking?
Well, isn't the what is it called, adrenochrome or whatever? It's part of it, right? So you'll have to find some elites.
Yeah. Oh no, Jeffrey Dahmer's dead. Right, that's out the window. All right then. No cannibalism, carnivorism. That's what I said. So yeah, our next topic is going to be Arian with his knowledge of meat.
Yes, Arian, who's not a carnivore. Not a cannibal. Not a cannibal. Cannibal.
A carnivore, not a cannibal.
He is a carnivore. He's not a
Didn't get him.
God.
Damn, you got me confused too.
We were doing great. I don't eat people. Arian just felt the need to specify.
Thank you for that.
Good clarification there.
Yep.
Alrighty then, Flat Earth. Who do we have? Hawksworth? I've not spoke to you before. You got VZ verified. You want to speak?
Well, I'll pop in to say hi at least.
Oh, hello.
Hello to you
How are you
too.
doing?
I'm doing quite well. I am up late working on a project when I should be in bed sleeping.
Oh, whereabouts are you from? You sound like you're going to be like an hour ahead of me. It'll be like 1:30 midnight for you, 12:30.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, half past 12.
Yeah, you're an hour ahead. Are you nearly done with your project though, or are you going to be up all night?
Well, depends which one. I kind of have 40 or 50 projects running at the same time.
Oh dear. Well, good luck with that. It won't take up too much of your time, but feel free to ask any questions if you hear us talking about anything you want to jump in on, alright?
Well, I was just thinking about the etiquette regarding listening in on a conversation, treating it as a podcast. I get that it's slightly disrespectful, but it's so pleasant to listen to a conversation where people are malleable and receptive to what the other people are saying.
Of course, yeah. You're more than welcome to just chill and listen. I just didn't know if you were having any questions or not, alright?
I probably would if I had gotten any significant amount of sleep in the last 2 years since our kid was born.
Oh, I understand. Oh, you got a young one? Oh dear. Congratulations, but I'm sorry for your sleep schedule.
I used to be critical and curious about the world.
Mm-hmm.
I do everything in my power to shut it out.
Of course. It's what best. Well, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you very much for allowing me to stay.
Of course. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty then. Oh, we also have Eclipse 5. Eclipse, would you like to ask any questions? You've got VC verified.
I kind of just came here to listen, that's all.
All right, no problem, bud. If you want to jump in with anything, just do so, okay?
I got you.
No problem. Oh, you're a flat earther. We have Harry Boy who doesn't have... Oh, Ildiko's in. Hello, Ildiko.
Hi.
Lovely to have you in. Is she there? Ooh, maybe not.
Give her a minute.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm always peacefully listening, so I was roused out of that peace to say hello, hello, hello.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no. I get into a sort of zone almost where I listen intently to the conversation. Yes. So
it's always nice to see you pop in.
I enjoy it. Thank you for doing it. Your first show, unfortunately, I won't be attending. I'm a vegan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's not. We can skip that one.
The first one, yes.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. We'll give you a free pass.
Yeah, but good luck. And it should
what
be.
would be interesting is if we do a veganism one in the future. Would you be willing to share your perspective and views?
I'm a. You should have a nutritional vegan as well as a. I'm an ethical vegan. Meaning my impetus and motivation for veganism is mostly ethical.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, if we do one, you're more than welcome to. You could be our guest if you would be.
Oh, that would be nice.
Willing.
I advocate it to my friends and on my YouTube. I had a vegan show where I was cooking with a friend, vegan recipes, but I discovered that I'm not a really good cook. So I had to give that up eventually. Things were burning and, food was all over the place. So
oh no.
It was not a success. So, but I'm still a dedicated vegan. I'm just not on YouTube showing anybody how to cook. So.
That's probably for the best. Same with me. I would burn water. I would figure out how to burn water. So we're in the same boat.
Yeah. I just like fruits, vegetables, uncomplicated,
Yes, of course. Just chop them up and enjoy.
Eat them, don't worry about it.
I see the root of your veganism here. Simple cooking.
I just realized you can't eat eggs. Damn.
No, of course not. Poor chickens. Come on. Torture.
I don't know why I thought that was a thing with vegans. Never mind.
Yes. Vegans don't even eat honey.
Yeah. Any products, yeah.
Because it's stealing from the bees.
Yeah, anything to do with nature that we consume, even like facial products and shampoos, they won't use anything that might have, like gelatin has got pig fat in it as well, so stuff like that.
See, there's people more informed about the actual food compositions and such. I've just been always attracted to raw foods mostly, and then I make smoothies and I chop up various fruits and eat them. That's it.
Well,
basically, try to keep it simple.
The funny thing is, Arian is like you. He's into raw things, but
unfortunately, no.
Very
into raw meat.
Well, good luck to him. It's been my opinion that the human body can survive on virtually anything. I met a man who ate nothing but tomatoes. Survive.
Yeah.
Anybody, it's we are a remarkable instrument of survival, and so anything actually will. My parents never ate very well. They still lived till their 80s, 83, 86. So, I mean, there are people who are 100 years old who eat meat. It's not really. It's the quality of life really that changes by the food you eat. The more vital the food, the more alive it is, the less processed it is. Obviously, then that translates into more pure energy. That's all.
You know what I like about you, Ildiko, is that you're not one of those make you feel guilty if you're not a vegan type of vegan.
Why should I? My parents, rabid meat eaters. My best friends are. It's I just throw my net of compassion out further than most people. That's all. I include the animals in that net. That's all.
Yeah.
See, I'm in the sense of I'm an animal lover. I've done volunteering work with animals and rescue animals for 5 years now. I love animals, but I'm under the impression that obviously the creator, everything's given a purpose, and that is unfortunately their purpose. I loathe. I always have to know where my meat comes from and stuff like that. I don't mass buy.
I understand that philosophy, darling. To me, it's simply philosophy. It doesn't have any meaning for me. What has meaning for me is to look in an animal's eyes when they're suffering their death caused by me wanting to consume them. Of course. That's the only thing that motivates me. All philosophy is hollow otherwise.
Of course. Well, I mean, I've sent Indio a message, and if you would be willing, that would be very interesting to have your point of view.
Well, I can certainly contribute that, but just don't ask me to cook anything.
No, don't you worry.
All right.
Don't you worry. It's all on voice. You don't have to be cooking anything.
Thank God. That's where I belong, on voice, not on video.
That might bring in our views, though, if you attempt to cook something.
I know. Once on camera, I blew up a blender full of hot soup. It went everywhere on camera.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes, that was my exit show. So this is not for me.
Understandable.
So, yes. All right. Well, I'll leave you towards to talk about more weighty subjects.
Of course, my lovely. It's always nice to have you in here.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Oh, Redford Bear jumped in. Hello, Redford.
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Getting there.
Good. Oh, that's good. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Crystal.
Okay. I got a new headset, so I'm just trying to figure it out. It's like been doing some weird thing in the background, so I wasn't sure.
Well, you sound good to me.
Awesome. So what did I miss? Anything interesting happen?
No, it's been kind of slow.
Oh, okay.
There's been a couple people in talking, but not too many. Speaking of, we have a VC verified called Flatman Can. Hello, Flatman. What can't you do? Stick to a ball? Upside down?
Oh, Flatman has been here.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah.
Hello, Flatman.
Hey, man.
How are we?
Pretty good. What do you think about the shape of the Earth? Lilika says you've been here for a while, but I don't think I've ever spoke to you.
Yeah, I've known and understand that for quite a while now. I fell into it just by chance. I've never really been into technology, and when we got one of these new smart televisions, internet, phone, TV, all that stuff, I could get YouTube on the telly. So I loved documentary, even though I was technology. So I was looking for a good documentary. I saw best YouTube documentary or whatever, and I clicked on it. Gentlemen, my name's Dave. I want to make something clear before I get into any of this. My life's good. I have no reason to rock the boat. And then he presented his thing. It was about 2.5 hours long and covered a lot of stuff. Like, the government's lied before and so on and so forth. And that was the start of my journey. About 5-6 months later, I think it was an ODD Flat Earth Trilogy where he's like, after 10 months, as much as I hate labels, I'm a flat earth. I was like, I've been looking at this long enough. Mark Sargent, other people, a lot of stuff. I've made some observations myself. So I've been flat for a while. I've been supporting the Discord for a while. I just got VC verified a couple.
Yeah, welcome, and we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, if you need me to help with any of the Globe guests or anything, feel free. I can do my best. I earlier today, before it was Ladies Night, presented because the discussion was gravity, the also man-made G-force, the Air Force, the G-suits to keep them from passing out when doing all that exertedness on their bodies. Other than man-made gravity, there's no such gravity.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's lovely to have you. I've never spoke to you before. Welcome to the server.
Thank you. My name's Chris to my friends, so that's good with all you guys, and the Globers call me Christopher.
Nice. Well, it's nice to meet you, Chris.
I'm in
I have a
Ottawa.
question, actually.
Go ahead.
So if there is such a thing as man-made gravity, then there would have to be gravity, right?
Man-made, not natural.
Okay, so it's just, okay, all right.
I'll give you an example. I own a couple of Chrysler 300s with the Hemis in them. It's a little over 400 horsepower under the hood, and when the light goes green and I step on it, you're being pushed back into your seat. You're feeling a force pushed upon your body. Like with a really high horsepower vehicle, I could put $100 bill on the dash and say, when the light goes green, if you can grab that, you can have it. And when I tramp on it, you're stuck to your seat. You're not getting that 100 off the dash. That's gravitational force pushing on your body as I'm accelerating us. But it's man-made. It's not a natural observation or whatever.
Right. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
No problem.
Yeah, it's what they say. What they claim gravity to be, it's certainly not. It's just words that can't be proven to actually exist. I mean, they can't even figure out whether it's mass attracting mass or bendy space-time. Like, they don't even know what they're talking about. So what they say is certainly wrong. But
and I really love listening to the ladies speak on this topic, because now I'm getting the lady flat earth perspective, and I'm hearing them chat with the lady Globers, and so I'm really enjoying this part of the Discord. I'm not sure, I noticed Ladies Night a couple weeks back.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear the ladies' perspective. A lot of the ladies are quite soft-spoken, so they don't really speak up during normal hours. So this is just a short period of time where the quieter women can speak up and say their point of view. And it's helping. A lot of the women are learning new arguments, new ways to speak to people. A lot of them, because they're not used to doing it too much, myself included, you learn new arguments and how to portray yourself in a debate. So it's good for them as well.
Sure, yeah, and by strengthening them in a debate or explaining flat Earth also allows them to be stronger in any and other argument too, right?
Of course.
Other disputes. Sorry, my phone.
Can I say something about the car analogy?
Sure.
The thing is, it's acceleration, because you wouldn't call it even a pseudo-gravity, because as soon as you get up to a steady speed, you would be able to grab the thing off the dashboard. So it isn't constant. It's just acceleration.
Yes, but I was also applying it to G-force in an airplane, right? You're turning, you're flipping, you're changing directions. The G-force suits push the blood back into to the pilot's body, so the heart keeps pumping the same blood when it's not feeling those effects of the forces on their bodies. You know what I mean? Otherwise, without the G suit, they pass out.
Right, and they only call it a G suit because it's a way to equate the amount of force on you that in terms of what you normally feel at ground level. So it's kind of misleading terminology that when they say G suit, it's just approximately.
What I'm trying to say is there's Newtonian gravity, Einsteinian gravity, and then there's man-made inertia or man-made G-force by machinery or whatever, right?
Right.
You have to be in something to feel that acceleration. Like when I would go to the Super X here in Ottawa when I was younger, there was a ride called the Gravitron, and you'd get in there, you're on a slight angle, and it just starts spinning. The centrifugal force pushes you against the side, and then thing you're leaning on slides up to the ceiling, and you could turn yourself upside down and everything while you're in there. You feel like a spider stuck to the wall, and then they'll warn you when it's going to start slowing down, and you start repositioning yourself, and then the thing slide down, and the ride stops. But without being in there and feeling that, it doesn't happen. It's a man-made force upon the people's body in the ride, right?
Yeah, I think the point she's trying to make, though, is the thing that you're manipulating and the variable that you're manipulating to cause that effect is not gravity. It's either acceleration or centrifugal force and so forth. If you give another example, then it would either be one of those or another variable, but none of those variables would be gravity.
Yeah. It's all man-made. It's, not natural. It's not not making things orbit or attract to one another. It's just man-made. Or I guess if your body's being attracted to the wall, there's those two attracted. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Oh no, you're good. I just wanted, because I'm trying to understand when you say G-force, it's just free fall, right? So because the way they explain G-force is like with Newtonian gravity. So if Newtonian gravity, mass attracting mass, doesn't really, if gravity is not a force anymore, then how are they still using that as like something that they contradict themselves? Do you know what I mean?
I call that pseudoscience gravity and crap. I've jumped from planes too, so when it comes to free fall, as well, it's the density of the air. Above 50,000, it gets less thick, so you're going to free fall a little faster. Below 50,000, it starts thickening up. Your free fall starts slowing a little, but you're still rapidly descending. And then the position of your body in the air as well. If you're deltaing, you're falling as fast as you can because you have the smallest surface breaking your speed. It's just your head and your shoulders. When you're flat out and your arms and your legs are by the side, you're creating drag and you're slowing yourself down. You're preparing to open your main,
Mm-hmm.
So the speed, the rate you're falling, all are dictated by the shape of your body and what you're doing. It's not a gravitational force yanking you down.
Yeah, of course not. It's just funny that they hold on to both the Newtonian when it fits them, and then pick and choose whatever. Yeah.
Whatever suits them. The gentleman on the chat last night said gravity is like their 1,000, like a multi-handyman. It'll fix anything, Well, gravity, that's why.
That's what I say to it. It's just a word that it's like a flexi tape. You slap it on anything, it will fix it. Like, it's fine, just slap it on. Like, you can't explain something, gravity.
That's the thing is they just pick which one they want when it suits them. But the thing is that Einstein's gravity can't help him because first he starts with some entity called space-time, which even Tesla said was nonsense because time is a concept. You can't bend or travel a concept, and space is nothingness. So space-time is nothing. It's absolute nonsense, and it's really just moving the goalposts because what they're saying is, okay, mass doesn't attract mass. There's something else happening to the mass by something called space-time. And you didn't answer the question at all. They just moved the goalposts.
Yeah, he just made it a bit more confusing so people wouldn't question it really, and that's what a lot of people do. They don't get taught it in school, so they hear the words Einstein, they're like, that's the smart guy with gravity, and that's it. It's like, no, he's literally saying that nothing is what makes us stick to the ball, literally.
It's kind of like Gnosticism in a way. It's a religious thing because what they're saying is you haven't been initiated, you don't have the white priestly lab coat, and you can't understand it because you haven't been properly trained. And so they're just, sorry, you haven't been in the group.
You've been listening to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0. We hope you're having a fantastic day on this flat and stationary plane. If you too would like to join the debate, please click the link below. We'll see you there.
Named Milk.
Hello.
Hello, Milk.
How's
How you
everyone doing?
Good. Hello. Welcome.
Pretty good.
Cool.
You got any questions you want to ask, Milk?
Not really. I'm just here to watch.
No
Does your
problem.
milkshake
I
bring
guess.
all the boys to the yard?
No answer.
I'm kind of uncomfortable.
Not flatter.
She's harmless. You're fine. If you do have any questions or if you'd like us to explain anything, feel free to just jump in. If not, I suggest you do some research on Flat Earth, especially if you're going to be participating in this server. There's additional information down the bottom, A to Z, that you can look into. And if you want to question any of it, you can jump in here and ask questions. Okay?
All right, that makes sense.
Wait, are you a globe earther or a flat earther?
I'm like midway in between. I don't know.
What's keeping you midway? What are your thoughts?
I'm not 100% sure because there's conflicting evidence.
Such as?
Well, you got the ISS, the space stuff, but you also got the curvature stuff. You can't see far. Well, no, you can see quite far, but according to scientists,
I'll tell you that the ISS is utterly fake. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
You're on fire.
Like cow, utter. Sorry.
Yep, we got it. Don't you worry.
You got Flat Earth?
Oh dear.
Good try, Orion. That was a little.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Well, again, feel free to ask any questions, Milk. We will answer them whenever you're ready. All right.
all right.
Okie dokie. So there are some people in here that don't have VC verified. We can try talk to some of them.
Thanks, Kai. Now I'm picturing Earth with the udders.
That's utterly disgraceful.
Sorry, guys.
All right, we have Epic Gamerman 53. Epic Gamerman, how epic are you? Not that epic, huh? Hello, Epic Gamerman. That's not very epic, bro. Alright, I'll take a VC verified away. If you want it again, you'll have to go get a VC interview. Up in VC check-in. Who else? There was someone else. I think they left. Did they? Yeah. It was a quiet night. What the hell? I'll just mute myself now. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I just saw it. I totally missed that. Pun on the word.
Mood. Sorry, Milk. I'm not trying to pick on you. Just.
Well, we could explain to Milk the second law of thermodynamics, because if the ISS is the only thing hanging him up, I mean, once he understands that, outer space as they present it cannot exist, and that we live in in an enclosed system, then he would know that it doesn't matter how convincing that they make what they show us, right? No matter how convincing that it is that they present it to us, that it's either in, you know, within the container, it's just way high up there, or it's fake altogether.
I mean, we can go through the 3 questions with them if he's willing. Like, all 3 will probably help them.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. What did you guys say?
Are you okay if we ask you 3 questions? They're pretty straightforward. It's not a debate. It's just...
All right, go for it. Go for it.
All right. Most important part is you can say the words, I don't know. Like, that's important. So the first question is, throughout history, past and present really, how have they ever measured curvature? I know you mentioned a bit about curvature, but do you know how they've ever measured it?
Lasers like across the water, right?
To measure the curve?
Well, I assume so. They have like milestones of how far something is away.
Well, we use the lasers to show that it's flat, because we hit
Right.
targets that are really far away that shouldn't be possible. So is there any way that they've been able to measure the curvature, like to prove that we're curved? We're on a ball? Because lasers do the opposite, really.
There's like, I know that there's the thing where the dude stuck this stick in the ground and then measured the radius.
Oh, the
supposedly.
shadows, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one, he's presupposing that he's living on a ball, as well as you need to know the distance to the sun, as well as it would work if the sun was a localized light source. So you can theoretically put some sticks in your bedroom floor and measure the radius of your room, like the curvature of your room. So that one doesn't really measure the curvature, because it can be replicated on a smaller scale on something that's flat.
Right.
What about like present time? Is there any way that you think they would do it? Because that happened a long time ago. With all the technology now, is there any other way that we can measure it with all the technology we've got?
I don't know. But I'd like to know exactly.
Oh, did he cut out for anyone else?
Oh, sorry. I'd like to know examples, like of
Oh, yeah.
how they've tried.
I mean, they haven't. It's not possible to measure. I mean, they say the sticks in the sand are the most compelling, but no, they haven't measured. There are none that we know of. The laser one, like you said, more or less proves flat instead of curved. But yeah. What about the other question? Is they say the Earth is spinning on an axis. How do we prove that? How do we show that we're spinning in general and that we're spinning on this axis? Again, if you don't know, you can just say. That's okay.
Well, it really depends, like how you think about it. I don't know. I'm trying to think how you would test it.
Well, I mean, have they ever? Because I mean, they're saying that we're spinning. So what was the method to measure it?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. And the last question is, day and night. I mean, again, it doesn't prove. I mean, you're looking up and you're seeing things moving above your head. That could mean that they're moving above our head. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're the ones moving. So that just proves that things move, not that we're spinning. You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third question is, in space, like space is a vacuum, of course. So in space, Is space a medium that can exist and somewhere that we can like travel to? Do you think so? Do you think it's somewhere that we can go to?
Yes, but like not with like not you're not able to breathe in it.
So how do we know it exists, or how do we even exist next to it? Because truth, do you want to jump in and say what you were saying about us existing next to space?
Oh, about I mean,
thermodynamics.
About the second law of thermodynamics, that we have pressurized gas, for an atmosphere. Is there? Okay, so I guess when you do it like in the 3-point question way, it has to like come out as a question, I guess. But no, I'm just going to ask you if you think that it's possible, and if you do, have you ever seen it demonstrated, or do you think you would be able to demonstrate it being possible for us to have pressurized gas for an atmosphere residing adjacent to a 10 to the negative 17 torr pressure, which is a near perfect vacuum, which is what they claim space is, and they claim it to be as such without in an open system.
Isn't that because of gravity?
Well, that's just it. You that opens up an entire another can of worms. But it's like I don't really want to go into the gravity thing, but I would also want to. I so want to. 'Cause, one, gravity's never been established, and two, if it were a thing, and if this like magical gravity were holding, let's just do hypothetical. If it were like able to like hold the gas molecules like towards the earth, then how would we even have rain ever? How would we ever have clouds? How would any gas evaporate and rise up, to a certain altitude? How would we have any gases to rise ever? How would we have the pressure gradient? We wouldn't have a pressure gradient.
All of the gases we breathe should be filling the available space.
Like,
we can't exist.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. No, please go ahead.
No, I'm done. Sorry.
No, it's just good. Have you ever observed gravity, containing gas, or even manipulating
But
gas?
doesn't the pressure contain the gas and not the gravity itself, because it's a force?
Pressure is gas trying to get out of a container. How can it contain anything?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Who's going ahead?
Yeah. So
sorry.
Okay. So are you like, I didn't even hear what you said. I heard Bible Litera's response to you, but let me ask you this: how many vectors does gas molecules travel in?
All directions.
Okay, which vector do they claim gravity functions in?
Well, presumably all directions, but like towards the most heaviest object.
I don't know that. I've never heard it claimed that that gravity affects in all directions. According to
relative to me, downwards, but relative to someone else, that would be a different direction.
Well, everything that would be affected by their so-called gravity, it would be relative to the center of the Earth for every object, right? And it's just so it's one vector towards the center, one vector. And gas molecules move in all directions. Why do they move in all? If gravity were affecting it, gas molecules would only move in the one direction. But it moves in all directions. It moves freely until, and I don't have the definition handy right now, but if you read the definition of gas pressure, the gas molecules move in all directions until it hits the walls of its container. That's at that moment that it hits the walls of its container, and that's when the pressure is created. The rate at which it hits the walls of the container is how you get your gas pressure. So you can't even have gas pressure unless the molecules have the walls of a container that it can bounce off of.
Okay, here's your thing that she was talking about. So The pressure of gas is the force that gas exerts on the walls of its container. So basically that means the one thing you need to have gas is something physical. So to have pressurized gas is you would need something physical. So the next part says, the atoms and molecules in gases are much more spread out than in solids or liquids. They vibrate and move freely at high speeds. A gas will fill any container, but if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape. So meaning, for us to have this gas pressure, there would need to be something physical. If there's not something physical, our gas pressure would be escaping. We wouldn't have it in the first place. The molecules would have nothing physical to collide with. And although you say gravity, again, you don't create gas pressure by pulling on it, which is theoretically what gravity would be doing. It'd be creating gas pressure by pulling, which is not how you create gas pressure. So our gases should be filling the available space. Like if I pop a helium balloon, the helium doesn't just sit there in the middle of the air floating. It's going to fill around about me. It's going to disperse. It's going to find its equilibrium. It's going to equalize. It's going to basically fuck off. And our gases should be doing the same next to this vacuum. They should be filling the available space, which is infinite, and we should just have no gas. You get that?
Yeah. So how do I breathe?
Right, that's the question. I mean, how are you? It means that there must be a container. We live in an enclosed system.
Yeah, you have to be. We have pressurized gas. The only way you can show, if I ask you, can you bring me some oxygen or can you bring me something, you're going to bring it to me in a container. You can't demonstrate this pressurized gas without a physical thing, a physical container. You can't blow up a tire without the tire. You need something physical to hold that pressurized gas in. When you pop your tire, you have a slow puncture, it's going to seep out over time, the container's broken. You get a massive gash in your tire, you lose your air instantly. And that's just what you need. You need a container to have pressurized gas. And that's just how it is. So for you to be breathing, there would need to be something physical. Unless you can demonstrate a gas pressure without a container. So gas pressure not contained, really. But it's not possible. Make sense?
Well, they tell us our system is open. It has to be an open system if we're able to have satellites and rockets leave Earth and go to the moon or go to Mars. So it has to be open. There's no way it's a closed system.
You mean open system? Yeah, I understood. I think he understood.
Yeah, sorry, am I mixing it up? It's open. So.
And then they even like their spokespeople and their scientists, they slip up and admit it from time to time. When they're not really paying attention to what they're saying. And sometimes maybe they intend to. I often wonder if that's what happens, if they just get tired of lying and when they get a chance to slip some truth out there, they just do it. But who was it? Was it Bill Nye, the science guy, or was it Don Pettit that said that we lived in an enclosed system when we can't leave?
It was Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Yes, he was like, I cannot stress this enough. We live in a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. And yeah, Bill, ding, ding, ding. That's like the only time that you're actually spot on.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you can think of a way that we can have a pressurized atmosphere residing next, adjacent to a 10 to the negative 17 torr pressure without entropy, taking place, then, their claim is not even possible.
What are you guys' hypothesis on the pressure thing?
Our hypothesis? What do you mean our hypothesis on pressure?
On the pressure stuff.
Well, there would have to be a container. That's just how gas pressure works.
And stuff covers a lot of stuff.
Oh, and what you were mentioning about the Bill Nye thing, it's and like how someone said about them slipping up. You can make literally anyone slip up. Like if you're in school, I enjoy like when some people that are in college and stuff come in here and they're like, I'm studying physics. I'm like, okay, go to your physics professor and ask them to demonstrate gas pressure without a container, and they'll be like, bro, you can't do that. Gas pressure needs a container. And you can like 180 it, like, okay, well, how do we exist without a container? You can make them slip up on themselves because gas pressure needs a container. So how do we have it without it? Again, you stick this gravity band-aid on it. If you can't explain it, it's gravity.
Do we then have a container around us?
Well, we would need it because you can't have the gas pressure without it. And if you're saying that we do have gas pressure without a container, so we're an open system existing next to a vacuum, and our gases aren't equalizing, they're not behaving the gases that we know and observe them to be here, then you would need to demonstrate gas pressure without a container behaving like how they're saying, next to a vacuum, not equalizing, behaving in all weird ways. You can't demonstrate that. So I'm not saying that there is one, I'm saying that's how gas pressure works. There has to be one.
Right. But like, if you were to go up a mountain, surely the pressure like weakens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a pressure gradient. Where's most of the oxygen produced? It comes from low, it comes from trees, mainly the ocean. The oxygen is being pumped out, produced low altitude. So yeah, you're going to have a gradient.
But why
that's
would you
what
have
it
a
is. It's
pressure
just a,
gradient if the gas spreads out?
well, it's being made down the bottom. It's not okay. So you can have a pressure gradient in a container. It's not
But in a closed system,
yeah. You
that
can't
would
have a
only
pressure
go-
gradient.
that would only go up. Like the pressure would always be increasing if that were the case if it was a closed system,
How so?
No.
Okay.
because the gas can't escape.
Okay, if you've got two different pressures, if you've got a 10 to the negative 17 torr pressure, and then you have our atmosphere, it's going to go one direction. Like the higher pressure, which is our atmosphere, is going to rush into the lower pressure, and it's going to continue to do that until it reaches equilibrium. So it's going to have only that one direction until it finds its equilibrium. It's not going to be able to have, you're not going to be able to have a pressure gradient, period, without a container.
Exactly. We only see, like, for your tire, for example, your PSI is the pressure within the tire. So you can check your PSI. If your PSI is like a 29, you might need to get your tire filled so it can be a 35. Okay? But if your tire has a huge gash in it, there's no more pressure gradient. Right?
Exactly. You need that container for the pressure in the first place. So to
let's
have
say,
that, like,
let's say we
like
have
what she's
a tire, and it's constantly increasing pressure. At some point,
Yeah,
it's gonna
but
pop.
no. You're thinking so. There's cycles, right? It's not. It's a dynamic system. It's not just the gas being created, but it's also being recycled back into, into the earth. Like there's a system for it. So it's not just a constant creation or, I guess you know what I mean by creation. It's not being created, but like addition into the system. There's always a reduction of the gases as well.
And
that makes sense.
Where would that happen?
And you got to think of the temperature gradient as well. Got to account for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a cycle.
But where would it be recycled?
Well, when you breathe,
Water vapor, rain, stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's recycled back. The gases that are created at the Earth were once in the atmosphere, so it goes from the Earth into the atmosphere, and it just cycles back around. It's not new. It's just changed.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Most things work in cycles, not to mention we don't even need to explain this kind of thing because you can't have the gradient without having the pressure to begin with. So you need to have a container, and it always goes back to that.
But if you have a container, then the gas can't get out. So I don't.
No,
understand how it'd
you
be
don't need
recycled.
to have it escaping. Do you know what I mean? Like you have the water cycle where let's just take that as an example. You have the gases turning into rain back down to the earth, right? So just in that example, you have the recycling of the gases. There are other cycles I can't think of right now. Probably need to look it up, but
just check the live stream. There's a picture posted.
That's not a force, or that's not pressure. You can't recycle a force.
No, you're thinking of gases as being always. So, because you said if in the tire you're always pumping air into it, it would eventually pop. So you're thinking of the earth in the same manner, where the air or the gases are always being quote unquote pumped, right? That's not the case. There is a recycling process to it. Gases turn back to liquid and so on and so on. So it's not just the increase of the gases is what I'm trying to tell you.
But surely, if water is made out of hydrogen and oxygen, right? And 75% roughly of the atmosphere is made up of nitrogen, where does the nitrogen go?
There's a nitrogen cycle.
Yeah, there is a nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, water cycle. There's a whole bunch of cycles, bro. The point is, it's not just an increase of gases. Yeah?
They don't tell us none of this shit. That's why we don't know.
I posted the nitrogen cycle. You can look into it. If there are more cycles, guys, just post it in the live stream.
I think
what you cycle, then okay. So if oxygen is always being created, and then oxygen is transferred into water, and it comes back down, at some point that oxygen still exists, so it's got to turn back into a gas. But there's also gas being created by the plants, so gas goes up.
How does breathing happen? If that's true, if we're getting oxygen increase all the time, nothing is consuming the oxygen, any of it? You don't breathe in?
You're taking it in and you are using it in your bloodstream.
Exactly. It's being used. It's changing form. That's what matter does. I think that's the first law of thermodynamics. Nothing it is created or destroyed because it's changing form. It's changing usefulness. And that's, like I said, first law of thermodynamics, and nothing is created or destroyed means that it's going through these cycles. These cycles are part of that observation, which is where we get laws of physics, from observation. And so this continual cycle, there's a water cycle, there's all sorts of other cycles, temperature gradients and things are changing, but it isn't just being produced, it's also being consumed. And that's how it's balanced, and that's how you have a system. For example, you can have a terrarium, an enclosed little world with just the right balance of soil and plants and oxygen and water, and it will live for 50, 60 years. It doesn't blow up, even though we would both agree that the plants are continually producing oxygen because there's other things in the terrarium that are consuming it. So it's a balanced system. But so none of this affects the fact that in order for there to be any air being recycled, it has to be contained. It can't be recycled otherwise.
Yes, perfectly explained.
Very well said.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Do you understand, Milk?
I still don't get the pressure gradient.
Well, have you heard about the temperature gradient? That's kind of a big thing in this.
But at temperature, it's not the same as pressure. They are linked, but they're not. It doesn't equal one.
Okay.
Well, it's generally more heat is more pressure, less heat is less pressure.
In a fully closed system, that would equalize the whole thing.
Again, you're disregarding the recycling system. It's not. Yes, if you have a container and you're constantly pumping gas into it, and there's no other dynamic, and you're just leaving it as is, if it will equalize, right? It will find its equilibrium throughout. But if you are putting in the different dynamics, like Literalist explained how things work, then you will have pressure gradient.
Well, and he doesn't even need to worry too much about the pressure gradient. Pressure gradient is delta X, but you need X before you can have delta X. X is pressure. And it just goes back to the original question that we asked you. You cannot have pressure without a container. Therefore, it must be contained. We're not contained with the sphere of gas in a spinning on a spinning water ball in a vacuum. We have to have a container. You will not have pressure. I don't have to tell you where it is.
We don't know, yeah.
It's like if I'm looking at an omelet, okay, I don't need to know where the chicken came from. If the chicken identified as a male or female, doesn't matter. As long as I'm seeing an omelet in front of me, I know it had to come from a chicken. So as long as you have pressure, which you know for a fact because you're breathing, and we're seeing this cyclical gas cycles, then we know we have some sort of container. Can't tell you what it looks like, but I know we have one.
But what if the container was made by gravity?
That's why we asked you if you can demonstrate that, like gases being contained by gravity.
Show you. I can't control it.
Because there is no way to
gravity can't contain gases.
Yeah.
And which gravity are you talking about?
It's a force.
Since when is it a force? Mainstream science doesn't say it's a force. They say it's not a force.
What do they say it is?
Are smoke detectors on the ceiling or are they on the floor?
What
are smoke detectors? Okay. Yeah, answer the question. Are smoke detectors on the ceiling or are they on the floor?
They're on the ceiling.
Yeah, why? Oh, but gravity. Gravity should be holding the smoke down. Nope, gravity does not contain gases.
That's because of the relative mass of the gas.
Oh, so now you're talking about relative density, not gravity. Make up your mind.
They're intertwined because mass and mass is affected by a force.
Wait, do you believe in mass attracting mass?
Yeah.
That's 106 years out of date by mainstream science account.
Okay, so what is it?
They all go by Einsteinian nowadays. Bendy spacetime. Where concepts can magically bend. Like space and time.
So the curvature of space-time causes objects to fall to one another, causing the effect of a force, which could be noted as gravity in like a simplified model.
It's a non-force. It's supposed to be time dilation.
In a simplified way. I mean, I can be pedantic about it and say
they say it's a consequence, not a force.
Okay, so by the curvature of space-time, the relative mass causes
nothing to do with mass like that. It's the time dilation according to the new thing. Due to the size of the globe dilating time, some nonsense. It's supposed to be bending space-time, but how can you bend the concept?
Do this little thought experiment
because of mass.
Like, can you give me a bucket of time?
No, because I can't. It's not that.
So how can you bend it if it's not physical? Somebody's roboting.
Kai, you're roboting.
Sure.
Oh, girl.
You're roboting real hard.
Gravity containing gas. Just one example.
Can you repeat all that? Because we didn't hear any of it.
I heard the last word.
What I just said, or the thing about the smoke detectors?
No, what you just said. You were roboting really bad.
Oh, I
heard
said I would
example container of gravity.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Karma. Yes. Just want him to show us an example of gravity containing gas. Just one. And if I hear because it's more dense, I'm gonna LOL. Okay? So don't do that.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta go to bed. So, bye.
Well,
Okay. No worries. You probably have a lot to think about.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say before you go, do you understand why Karma was asking you that? If you could be in space time and, or if you could, like, if you can manipulate space time, do you understand why she was asking you that? Did he go?
Yeah, he ran.
Yeah, he did.
I think his mind got too blown and he had to go before he melted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I actually have a question, not specifically for anyone. It's for both sides. Oh, sorry, for both sides of the equation and for like everyone in between. Do you ever have like, it maybe doesn't have to be about the whole concept, or maybe just about like a specific part, but do you ever have like doubts in what you believe?
Well, I can say for our side, I used to believe, and then once I stopped believing in globe and stuff like that, I started just going with evidence and facts and, real stuff. It's nothing to doubt. It's just knowledge. It's just facts. It's just reality.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I doubted the globe, and when I looked into it, my doubts were correct. But as far as the flat Earth, it's like Karma said, it's more knowledge based, and I don't have to believe. It's not a faith based, right? So there's no need to doubt.
Exactly.
Anybody else want to answer? If anybody has any doubts from the globe side or flat Earth?
Well, you guys pretty much said it. I mean, beliefs can be doubted. Beliefs can change. Someone can convince you to believe something else, but that's only when you're dealing with beliefs.
The thing is, we have to be careful that every change of belief doesn't mean we've made an improvement. It could just be jumping from the frying pan to the fire. So we have to, everybody on every side has to watch for that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the Earth, though, the heliocentric model was a belief because they told you these things and none of it could be demonstrated. You couldn't experience it. You couldn't see it. You couldn't observe it. You couldn't check it. You couldn't verify it, except for the shape of the Earth. Like, they claim it's spherical, but you can go and you can see it. You can test it. And when you see something and you experience it and you're dealing with facts, then that's something right? It's not a belief. So once you know, then it doesn't matter what kind of argument someone presents you. You know what's true, right? And that's what it is when it comes to the Earth. When you're talking about the Earth, it's not a belief.
That's why knowing and knowledge is so important, and belief can be dangerous. Any belief can be dangerous so long as you don't know it's a belief. As long as you live by a belief as a fact, you're going to be doing something wrong, because if the belief is wrong, like you're shooting yourself in the leg, you're not checking it out. But if you know you have a belief, there's nothing wrong with having it, because you're aware of it being a belief, which means if you get a counter argument, you look at it properly without the bias. And Trace had a great point here where you can hold multiple beliefs if you realize if that it is a belief and entertain multiple different, thoughts. It's a quiet night.
We do have a few people that have.
Was that the only question they had?
Zilfers, is that the only question you had?
Seems like
Actually,
a question
yeah,
like that should be followed up by some more questions. Is all.
I actually do have another question. Again, this isn't directed to any side. It's kind of more just like a general question. How did you always believe what you believe now? Did it change over time? And if it did change, when did it change? And like, what made you change your mindset in this way?
I still hear, sorry, I don't want to pick on you, but I hear the word belief again. And I think we really tried to stress with the previous answer that we are not operating on a belief anymore. We were all taught the same thing that you were, the heliocentric model, the globe model in school. Turns out, though, that is a belief. So now, everyone has a different reason. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. We just have to clarify that, though, because we just want people to know that we're not a religion, right? This is a group of people that really want to get to the bottom of
Okay, so then I would say the belief portion.
We're trying to stay away from belief as much as possible. Actually, like even us flat earthers in the group that have been here for a while, we'll get in trouble if we say things, if we do speculations and we're not clear that it's a speculation, because this place, very careful to only talk about things that we can, test and know. But
to, I guess, rephrase then from what I said, I would use the term belief then rather to assess the people who believe in a globe earth, and then I would say for the people who believe in a flat earth, what made you, just look at the facts and see oh, okay, this is what people are saying, but then this is what the earth actually is. So how did you start to put the pieces together is essentially, I guess, what I'm trying to ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone has a different answer. For me, I watched a video of this guy named David Weiss, and he was talking about long distance photography, and the world record for the longest distance photography proves that there's no curvature of the earth. So that was the first thing that really surprised me, is when people go out in the field and they try to actually find this curvature, because we're on a ball, right? So if we're on a ball, there should be curves all over the place, we should be able to measure that. But when it actually comes down to it and you're looking or doing laser tests, there's actually no curvature at all. And that really started getting me to ask some questions, because that's a big problem, right? For the ball, if there's no curve, those two need each other. Balls need curves. So,
like she said, everyone has their own different way that they come about it. But I think the most consistent answer that you'll find, that everybody will have varying things in their answers, but for the most part, the majority of them were trying to debunk flat earth, and they were looking for the curvature, because they tell you how big it should be, where the curvature should start from where you're standing in all directions. And everybody wanted to debunk the idea of flat earth and go out there and find the curvature and come back and say, okay, flat earth is bunk. But this is how flat earth grew so fast and so large, because no one could ever find the curvature.
I think also going by, there's an old saying that goes, those who know all the answers haven't heard all the questions. And I think the issue here that you're asking about is why people started asking questions. I think that's the key to finding any kind of truth or fact, is to ask questions. And because people aren't taught to ask questions in school, they're just given a piece of paper and read it off and memorize it and take the test and pass. And that isn't to say that there aren't smart people and that people don't learn anything in school. It's just that the information is not the whole story. They're not given all the options and all the data. So if you only have partial data, you're going to reach a foregone conclusion. And that's what happens most of the time with knowledge in general. People don't ask enough questions. And I think that's what is the difference of people who get into this issue of Earthshape and a lot of other conspiracies, is that they decided for whatever reason to ask some questions.
And a lot of things too, like using your logic to just think about the things that we've been, told within the education system, where, like was said, that you're not allowed to ask questions for certain things and you don't have proper answers. So just use your logic and start looking into these things, and you'll find that it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I have a question for you. If you become aware of the size of the Earth and you become aware of where the Earth should start curving, if it is the sphere that they claim it is, like for instance, 1 foot off of the ground, it should start curving away from you at 1.225 miles. That's according to their math. If you look and you make an observation and you see the Earth should start curving away from you at 1.225 miles, and you can see 15 to 20 miles out and it never curves away, what conclusion would you come to? Did I come through okay?
Yeah, you did. Zophers?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that she was asking that to me. Well, first, I just want to kind of clarify, like, I'm not on a specific, side. I don't believe anything. I kind of just, like to know, everybody's perspective.
Yeah,
so,
I was just wanting to know your perspective, though, as well. I was just looking for, your thought process on it. Like, what conclusion would you come to if that were the case? If you looked out and your observer height's 1 foot and the Earth should start curving away at 1.225 miles.
So, what would I think if I saw that?
Yeah, what conclusion would you come to if you could see 15 to 20 miles, or more, or further? Actually, yeah.
So, I guess essentially, if I saw it with my own eyes, and I could definitely see that there isn't a curve, I would definitely start to have doubts about the original model that we were taught. I can't say that I would 100% know that it's flat, but I definitely think I would 100% start having doubts. I think on top of that, as I would further go into more information, I would probably start to convert more. So I definitely think that would be a big change in how I perceived things, but I wouldn't say it's like a 100% complete. Definitely a large amount, but I wouldn't say it's 100%.
Right.
It would 100% change my perspective.
And let's say, okay, so let's say that observation. Let's say you made it, and then that happened, and then you started looking into it further, and it started making you have doubts, and then you saw, some observations that other people had done and they shared with you, and then people are like, no, wait a minute, we're going to have to actually measure and test the Earth. And so they started getting these lasers and measuring it with lasers, and they never found the curvature. So you've got hundreds of people, thousands of people, all across the Earth doing the same thing, and no one is ever able to find any curvature. And then you also have people going up in planes using infrared photography and looking out, and for as far as they can extend their field of view, it never curves away. So it would be a repeated thing that would happen over and over and over. And then not once would you ever have anyone, bring an observation to you or a measurement where there was any curvature. Like at that point, at that point in your journey, what conclusion would you come to?
So, I guess, well, first what I would want to say is a personal observation from, standing at a certain point to see that there is no curve. Like I said before, I could definitely 100% say that I would develop doubts, of course, about the original model that I was taught. And I'm sure almost everyone here was taught. But if, it's actual, people who were informed about, science and stuff, they were to go out, they were to do, official tests and then come back with data that is inadequate to the data that we were taught, the model that almost like was a juxtaposition to the information that we were informed about, I would almost 100% believe that, yeah, there is definitely something wrong. This model cannot be correct. I wouldn't say that I would. Oh yeah, continue.
Oh, I think you said what was it? Adequate or what was the word you used? Daggone it. You said a specific word, like it was like adequate or acceptable tests or whatever. What would you consider that to be?
I guess when I said that, when I said that, I said like what I meant was kind of that, like, you know, it was like a trustable source, of course, and that they were, you know, they obviously, the test that they had done was a test that would, like, you know, appropriately measure if there was a curve or not.
Right, like taking all the variables into consideration, the distance.
Yeah. If it was like, you know, properly done.
Okay. Well, we have some of those.
What did you say the distance it supposedly starts like? What was the distance they say it starts curving at? I'm just trying to see if I've seen that far myself.
Well, there's actually someone just posted it in the live stream. It's at 1 foot observer height. The Earth should start curving away at 1.225 miles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, like, we have some of these tests where people have done just what you said, which is something you won't find in mainstream. You can ask your science teacher. You can look on scientific websites. You can look on NASA. They don't have these. They don't have any measurements for curvature. But we've got measurements showing there is no curvature. I don't know, when did you come into the server? How long have you been in the server?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure if you were referring to the other person. I joined yesterday, so.
Okay. Are you aware of the additional information that's at the bottom of the server? You can scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll find an area labeled additional information.
Yeah, I've checked out a few of the channels. I haven't, you know, fully gone through all of the channels and all the information that you have available, but I've definitely looked at a few of it.
Yeah, there's
a few of the sources.
If
you probably have to have a time machine to go through all that in a day.
Yeah. If you want to look in the live stream voice text, I'll post 2 links for you just to get you started. If you want to grab those and kind of check them out, you know.
Thank you.
To get, you know, that way you don't have to sift through all that information, but there's more down there. If you look in the room, hashtag laser tests, you'll find other ones. There's a lot of them down there actually. And
I'm interested. Have you seen a light source vanishing over the horizon at night? How it looks like? Like you're standing at the beach, and there are those boats that have those light sources, right? And they go further and further and further away. Have you seen them vanishing over the horizon? Has anyone of you seen them?
When you say vanishing over the horizon, I'm not understanding. I'm sorry.
Like what I have seen when I went to Thailand on an island. I saw a boat, and like those were fishing boats. Those fishing boats they use like this light to attract fishes, right? So they can catch them easily because those fishes, they are attracted to light, and so they have the nets and they catch them. So I was on the beach on this island, and those fishing boats went further and further away from me, and so I saw those boats, and that there was this light source going further and further away from me, and at some point I just saw like a flashlight from the bottom to the top. So it was like a light source coming from behind the sea, behind whatever blocked the light from me. and this was like shining from the bottom to the top, so it like vanished away from me, right?
Were you using your naked eye, or were you using an optical device?
Like my naked eye.
Okay, well, next time do that with your naked eye and have some kind of optical device that'll extend your field of view,
But
and
it was like,
when
do you know,
hang
like,
on. Yeah, but
yeah,
hang on
go
a
on.
second. When you see it with your naked eye, like
Yeah.
shrink and disappear into the vanishing point, then
It-
use your optical device and see if you can't bring it back into zoom.
It didn't really. I mean, at some point, obviously, it shrank because it went further away. But at some point, it looked like it was like behind, like under the horizon, right? And then was there like, I imagine like a flashlight. Like imagine like you have a table and the flashlight is under the table and you only see the light rays coming up under the table from the from the flashlight. You don't see the light source anymore. You just see the rays coming up from under the horizon. Do you know what I mean? It like the the light source itself, it vanished, but the only thing you could see were like those light rays coming under the horizon from the bottom to the top. It looked like it was blocked by something.
Oh, so you're saying it like quote unquote dip behind the curvature, and the only thing you see is like the light,
Yeah,
not the light source, but
yeah,
the rays.
exactly. You didn't see the light source anymore, but you just saw the light itself, right? It looked like that,
Okay.
basically. So basically, what was it, right? I mean, it really looked like like the Earth itself was in the way of the light, and I only could see like,
well,
yeah.
here's the thing. That does happen with the like atmospheric condition, depending on like how much moisture is in the atmosphere. But there are other times when we do see light sources just shrinking away into the distance rather than dipping down, being obstructed by the Earth, right?
Yeah. So probably, I mean, if I went higher up, I mean, the island it wasn't that big, right? But I
Mhm.
think it basically went a few hundred meters up. So if I went further up, probably I would have seen the light source at some point.
Yeah, that's just perspective.
Oh, okay.
How perspective would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, the object and the light coming from the object or whatever. Before they were both within your angular resolution, but as it was leaving, the only thing that was still remaining in your angular resolution was the light from the light source. You have a specific, point which the thing converges into. So if you extended your field of view, if you got some kind of optical device, you could zoom in on it, then you could bring the object and back into view along with the light, emitting from it.
But it was kind of strange because like the light was like with my own eyes, it was like vanishing by like meter by meter. You know what I mean? Like the further it went, the more it was like blocked by some line
Yeah.
that I
Right.
saw. So I'm kind of confused because
Well, there's a video in
I-
the live stream. If you
there-
click on it and watch it, that Indio posted for you, it may help you explain.
There's also a comment the boys wanted to get voiced, which is he has to come up with some other variable to explain when things disappear like that, because it is invalidated as being Earth curve because of the black swan. He is literally describing a white swan. End of quote.
a white swan. What do you mean by a white swan? Like,
And then there's besides, he assumes it's a white swan since, for instance, this would also be a black swan. Of course, that image is edited, not real, but the example stands.
I'm completely confused. I'm sorry by swans. I'm sorry. I mean, I know kinda the term black swan by this argument, right? But I'm sorry. I wasn't in this community for like over some years, and I left it when the black swan basically came. So
I get you.
I don't really understand the black swan because I haven't dealt with it. Right?
Don't
You know
worry,
what I
man.
mean? Yeah.
I have the explanation right in front of me. I can read it out for you.
Yeah, sure.
In the philosophy of science, falsifiability or refutability is the capacity for a statement, theory, or hypothesis to be contradicted by evidence. For example, the statement "all swans are white" is falsifiable because one can observe that black swans exist. And then there's a lot of explanations of where this originated.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically,
Tinder.
the black swan for us is showing that there is no curve because it reaches way too far.
Yeah, just watch the video that's posted. It's 20 seconds long. It's not going to take you. Yeah, just watch it.
Seeing it really does help.
Oh yeah, I found the channel. Sorry, I'm gonna mute it. Yeah, so it's gonna zoom out, but and so he's not gonna see anything anymore. Right, the boat is gone because.
Yeah, it appears like it's dipping or disappearing behind. Like a physical Earth, right? But as you zoom in, you're able to see more of the boat, which means it just has gone beyond your visual range.
But you know, like I've seen this boat, like this light source itself, with my naked eye. I didn't need any. I didn't need any zooming, anything. Right? It just went like it started to cut off the light source. And the only thing I've seen was like this ray of light coming from this lamp. This like you know those boats use it to catch fishes, to catch those fishes attracted by this light. And I only seen this ray of light coming off the boat from the bottom to the top. I've not seen. I've just seen the atmosphere illuminated by those.
Yeah, but are you understanding what we're saying to you though about perspective? That doesn't matter if you see the light disappearing, the light source disappearing. If you go back, most likely if you go back on a different day with the same boat, same distance, and depending on the atmospheric condition, you'll see a different thing. So that doesn't mean the Earth is like shrinking or getting larger. It just means that's how your perspective works.
Maybe, but you know,
That's
like
why I say when you look at it and it leaves your field of view and it disappears with your naked eye, you can use an optical device to bring it back into view. So what I'm asking is what are you like? Okay, so what are you trying? I'm trying to see where you're going with this because we're explaining it to you. We're explaining what happened. We're explaining what you can do to test that. Now I'm wondering what your point is.
My point is that if you had like a torchlight, right? You take this lamp, torchlight, whatever, and you put it on the ground, and you're going farther and farther away. The core, like the core of the light, is the brightest, right? If you look into the core of the light, it's always gonna be the brightest. But if you take something and you're gonna like put it in front of it, all you can see is like the reflection of the light by the atmosphere, right? It's only going to be the reflection, but the reflection of the light to the atmosphere is going to be less bright than the core itself. And what I know about light is that the brightest is going to be the one that you can see the farthest away, but the reflection on the atmosphere, the reflection on the light, the farther away you move, is gonna be the one that you can see less, right? So the thing that should vanish first is the reflection on the atmosphere, and the thing that you should vanish after.
What is this nonsense? Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
You're making an assumption that the light that you're seeing emanating off of, that you're seeing a reflection of that light when you're actually seeing the light itself that's being emanated from it. You're also making the assumption that it's that the reason that you're not seeing the light source is because it's not as bright as the light that's emanating from it, and those are two bad assumptions to be making, and because that's not the reason. I mean, you would have to establish that is the reason you're no longer seeing the object. You'd also have to establish that is a reflection and not the light itself emanating from it. And that's not the case. Like, you take an optical device and you zoom in on it and you'll be able to see it. It's like, I'm trying to figure out what your point is with what you're trying to say anyway, even with those assumptions.
I mean that was a point. That the only thing I could see was the only thing I could see was the atmosphere illuminated by the light.
Tinder, that is what is supposed to happen. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry, bro. I understand what you're saying. Okay, let me 1 second. If when you see a sunset, when you see the sun setting, like the actual circle of the sunset, you still see the atmosphere being lit, right? It doesn't completely go dark, because that's just how
you don't see the light anymore.
You don't see the light source anymore.
Right?
You don't see the light source anymore. That's how things work. You don't get darkness and then the light source disappears. That doesn't even make sense.
That's not what I'm saying.
Keep your eye on live stream.
Yeah, you see the lit atmosphere first, and then you see the light source.
Why would you see the lit
if
atmosphere?
If I'm in a room and I'm holding a candle, if I block the candle, the fire where it's lit, does that mean the room stops being lit?
I could see the part of the room that is gonna be lit by the candle, but a big part would be dark, right?
No, if you're standing at one end and I'm standing at the opposite end, and I just block the light, or the light source, like the fire part, you're still gonna see the whole room being lit.
There would be a big shadow.
Yeah, but you still see the room being lit. You're assuming just because I cover the light source, you're not gonna see any part of the room being lit. When you see a sunset or sunrise, the first thing you see is the atmosphere being lit.
Okay, let's take the example of the candle, right? If you have this candle in front of you, and you're gonna block the light depending on the angle, let's say you're gonna cover a small part of it, then everything behind your hand that is gonna be covered is gonna be a shadow.
There will be a shadow, but there still be lit. Like the room would still be lit. If I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. I don't know if any of you other girls get it.
Saying it stays bright even though there's not direct lighting, right?
Yeah, like the light source would be blocked from your eye, from your visual. Yeah, from your visual angle, the light source would be blocked, but it doesn't mean the whole room would go dark all of a sudden. You still have the light. Yeah, even without you being able to see the light source.
Yeah, I understand, and that was exactly the case, because there was
What's the problem?
There was this light source being blocked, and the only thing I could see was this light shining behind.
Can I ask something?
This light was shining behind this blocked thing, right? There was something blocking this light, and everything.
That sounds like an assumption.
It doesn't sound like an assumption, because
are you claiming it's the Earth's curvature that's blocking the light source?
Like the only thing I could see wasn't this light isn't didn't shine in my eyes anymore. This light.
Because that's what's supposed to happen.
Hold on here. Hold on. He never said anything about curvature. He was just saying something about light, which we can explain through refraction, or what do you call this? Inverse square law of light, or perspective. There's 3 factors that you can have there, but he never said any point whether it was curved or flat. You need to make a point, sir. Are you saying because of this, that's why the Earth is curved? You haven't said any of that. So what we're doing here is just going around in circles. So what? What is it? What is it really? So you're making an observation about light, and we're giving you explanations, but some part of you is, for some reason, not accepting it. So let's start all the way from the beginning. You made an observation. Yes, let's start over from the very beginning. So you made an observation, and all the ladies here have given you explanations for perspective, for refraction, and, well, you haven't heard the inverse square law of light. There's also that. So there's.
I don't know how the inverse square law of light would explain what I saw, but go on, please explain the inverse square law.
Okay. Somebody have a link for the inverse square law of light, please.
You can Google
and you can read it.
Just Google it. Inverse square law.
Because funny.
The farther.
Also, because it's mainstream science, you can just Google it.
Is it like the
if
farther?
You don't know what it is.
Okay, is it like the farther it goes, the dimmer it gets? Or is it basically the inverse square law?
Yeah.
Because it when I heard inverse square...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So that's 3 explanations, but you have not made a point on whether the Earth is curved or flat. That's why we're going in a circle here. Are you using... I don't want to divine your thoughts, so you better make your point.
No, my point is that the light looked like it was blocked by something. That was basically my point. Where it went. It looked like something, like the farther away it went, the more it looked like something was in the way of the light. And I don't know what, but it looked like something, and I know water is level.
But you don't know what that something is. And Truth was right when she said you need an optical device to zoom in, and then you'll see what that is. But until then, don't make any assumptions.
I am not making assumptions, because like if you take something to zoom in, it doesn't bring anything back that you cannot see.
There you have it. The Earth is flat. Welcome to flat Earth.
But you
What
didn't
the
even
fuck
say
does
that you
this
did that.
mean, man? What the fuck does this mean? Like
You said
this
you looked at
light
it with your
source.
naked eye.
Yeah, I looked at it with my naked eye. Isn't this
And
enough?
now you're
Isn't
saying
it?
but now you're saying that you're making a claim, a positive claim, that if you get something to zoom it in, it doesn't come back. But you didn't. But you looked at it with your naked eye. You didn't mention anything about using any kind of zoom.
No, I didn't use zoom
keeps
because that
changing.
was enough.
And how do you know? You're assuming that it dropped behind something or it's obstructed. But if all you're seeing is light, how can you determine, with standing there with your naked eye, as it's like going past beyond your vantage point, how can you determine whether or not it's even being obstructed? How can you determine that it's not just that the light that you're seeing is not the light source and the light emanating off of it blended into one? If you're looking in the live stream, India posted something earlier that will definitely explain what like. You can look at it. It's a visual. It's a very good visual.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, and
Yeah.
it's like
Okay, well, how do you
completely.
know that's not what's going on?
It just vanishes behind the horizon. But what I've seen was like if you take a candle and you put it on a table, and like this, and you go under the
More
table,
examples?
like like you put it on the table, and the table is at some point when you go below the table, you cannot see you cannot see the light anymore because it's gonna be blocked by the table. And that's exactly like this. It looked like when I looked at the when I was standing on the beach and it looked at the sea, it looked exactly like this.
You were underneath the earth or something? Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't.
I probably
yeah,
was
it's
because
ridiculous.
it
That's
completely
exactly what
looked
I
like
was
this.
thinking.
Because
How
all
are you
he's saying is,
going under? How? That
Stop
doesn't make
this
sense. How
thing.
can you use that as
What
an
is your
argument? That's
point?
ridiculous.
He doesn't have an argument. He's just making an observation. And so on. You
Yeah.
made that observation.
Uh,
Therefore what? Therefore what? Make your point, please.
Therefore,
You sit or get off the pot. Make your point, please.
okay, therefore the sea was in my way. Therefore, the water blocked the light source towards my eye. That's my point.
And you were
Your
under the
point-
sea? Is that the whole candle table thing? What are you talking?
No, my point is that at some point when the boat moved further away, I couldn't see the light source anymore because it was blocked by the water. And therefore it couldn't be flat. Because
so you're saying there's a geometric curve there that was blocking it, but if that's the case, then how can there be so many laser tests and other photographs long distance that prove there is no curve? So you're saying because you saw something that you thought looked like curve, you assumed it was a curve, and that proves the curve to you?
No, I just the only thing I'm assuming, and then I don't know about those laser tests. The only thing that I am assuming is that when something is in the way of light, it's gonna block the light, right?
But you're assuming that's what it was that made you stop seeing the light. You don't even know if it was blocked by anything, since you don't understand perspective, atmospheric conditions, or anything. You should look a little into how vision actually works first. So how light works in atmosphere, just so you can understand this a bit better. If you're going to try to convince yourself that this is proof for globe, because you got to be able to measure curvature if you're going to prove globe, because it's complete nonsense, man. Just look at the black swans.
Does perspective?
Yeah, well, at least he finally made a point now, and I'm going to tell you, sir, that even if you say you're looking far away, it still doesn't make it curved, because for every mile there is a measurement. So with 2 miles you should see 32 inches of drop, 3 miles 6 feet, 4 miles 10 feet, but you're pointing to something that's really far away. Why does it have to go so far away? You can see it's in front of you at 7 miles or 8 miles, just how many drop there should be. That's not fair.
I honestly don't care how many drops there should be. But
what do you mean you don't care? Your model, your globe requires a geometric
the only thing
Rio, can I explain that to him? Because if you don't have the radius, you don't have nothing. Without the radius, you can't have any of your space nonsense either. Because without the radius, everything else is smooth. It's kind of like saying, I built this house on sand without a foundation. It's totally gonna stay up, bruh.
No, that's not.
It's ridiculous. You need to have radius. If the radius is wrong, that means everything they told you is wrong.
That's not
everything.
That's not a valid analogy, because the only thing I can see.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
You just said you didn't care about whether the radius was right. We're going by the radius that is given by mainstream science, which you're taught in school, and we actually checked it. I suggest you do the same, because then you might actually realize it's not fucking there.
Who cares about mainstream science? Who cares about the races they were given us? The only thing I care about is if a light source is being blocked by a solid object, or is
you should care, because the only reason you believe in that shit is because those guys told you that's the way it is. They never provided any evidence. You just took it on its word, like we did when we were kids, because we believed in authority.
Look,
if you cared, you would repeat it, and you would get you would use an optical device, and you would try to bring it back into view and see if you could. And that's not what you said you did. You're trying to use.
Watch the video as well.
I've listened long enough to Flat Earth, and I've been in Flat Earth for long enough, and I know what you're talking about like this mainstream thing and the curvature calculations and everything. But the only thing I do care about is if a solid object is blocking light or not when I look at a boat. When I look about.
Then check out the video.
and do it with something that you can like zoom into it and extend your field of view. Use some kind of optical device to see if it has went over that. Care enough to do more tests than to repeat it.
Okay, look, if I have a light source and if I move really far away from it, there are two things that could make me not see the light source anymore, right? Well, one thing is that there is too much atmosphere in the way, right? If you move too far away, at some point the air is gonna block the light source, right? It's gonna spread. It's
Okay,
gonna.
well,
It's not gonna. It's not gonna reach my eye anymore. And the
I know,
other
but-
thing. And the other thing is
listen
that
to me for 1 second,
something
because what you need
is
to
in
do,
the way. Yeah.
all of these are assumptions, right? You're saying and you're predicting that this should happen or that. Well, you need to go test those. You need to document it and validate, test what you're saying. It's just making these hypotheticals or bringing assumptions without anything to back it up is not to like get you anywhere. It's just baseless claims. You're just spurting out baseless claims. There's nothing there. And if that's what you think's going on, then you need to go test it, document it, and bring it back.
Okay.
Rather than doing thought experiments, checking reality.
Can I ask him a question? Did you watch the video I posted?
Yeah, please do.
You listen, Tender Ace, did you watch the video I just posted on the 500-foot lake?
This 20-second video, or do I have to scroll?
This
down?
one. This one. This lake is 500 feet long.
But what's her name?
How does the light disappear in this lake?
What's her name?
It's only 500 feet long.
Indigo. Like
The lake's 500 feet long, and the globe model predicts the horizon is 2,600 feet away.
Is it like
What's
30
blocking
seconds
it?
long? Is it like 30 seconds long? Your video?
How many?
How long is your video?
From a camera height of 2 inches, the horizon is supposed to be 2,600 feet away from the camera. This lake is 500 feet long. How can the boat disappear? Are you going to talk over me? Are you going to talk over me?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk over you because I have to know how long this video is you posted, because I have to know which video it is. Like the second, 30 seconds? Is it like 30 seconds?
I want a timestamp? Hold on.
No,
It's
like
15 minutes after the hour. Indio posted it, so you can go watch it. What's the problem?
They're like two. You can start it.
It's
like 3 minutes.
37 and watch like 10 seconds of it.
No, the problem is that there is so much stuff being posted that then I don't fucking know which video you're taking.
Video I just posted. Go to 237 and watch about 10 seconds of it.
And most of it's been the same thing posted over and over and over and over, hoping that you'll grab one of them. But
This is a light. Sorry, this is a light on top of a boat. The exact same crap you're talking about, right? This is the exact same thing.
Okay.
It disappears. This lake is only 500 feet long.
What?
There's no drop in 500 feet. It's something like 1/10 of a millimeter or something in the globe model.
So
where does the boat go? Where does the light go? Because we've eliminated a physical Earth curve obstruction as a variable because the lake is too short.
Like
Where does it go?
It's a video.
I also wanted to ask him real quick. For the whole group.
Hang on. It's your video.
I've got an idea,
Now you're
Mr. Tender
dancing,
Age.
dude.
I've
I
got
don't
an
want to hear you
idea.
dancing.
Why don't you bring a sample of what you observed, a video of it, so this ends right now? Otherwise, you're just making assertions. So come
She
back
didn't
next week
observe
with a
anything.
video or
He told three
whatever.
stories, Rio.
Thank you.
He's actually told 3 different stories.
Okay.
That's the only reason I jumped in, because he's a liar.
There's.
And you know you're lying, dude. You've
We
told
have
3
to-
different stories. Did you see the light directly or not? You told 3 different stories, dude.
Okay, I have to go step by step. First
you
of
gotta
all,
go. Yeah, I know.
No. Step by step. Like the video you're talking about is it like 3 minutes 36 seconds?
Go to 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Watch
2
about
minutes.
10 seconds from there.
Okay, then it's the wrong video. Can you direct
Oh my
message?
God.
Indio, let me take this. Guy, come back next week with a video of what you're asserting. Unless you have any evidence or citation or a video of what you're talking, I'm not going to entertain you anymore.
I
So
don't
far,
care.
This ends now.
I
This
don't-
ends now.
I believe.
honestly, I don't give a shit if you are gonna entertain me anymore or not. I don't care. But I'm.
No, because you don't have any evidence for what you're asserting. Do you realize that at 10 miles you should see about 66 feet of geometric drop? And yet you're trying to point out something so far away. Why do you have to go so far away? It's right here at 10 miles. You can see there's no curvature. So my suggestion is get me a video of what you're asserting, then we'll entertain you. After that, this ends right now.
Here.
Story time's over.
I muted him so I could actually hear what you're saying, Rio, because he was just talking over you. If you want to unmute him, go ahead.
No thanks.
Doesn't need to be unmuted right now.
I think he needs a time.
I didn't mean to jump in, but he was just like.
No, yeah, I was thinking like.
I don't know. I wanted to show him contrary evidence because he kept saying that there's only 2 possibilities, and there's way more than that. There's at least 6
I
possibilities.
did try to point it out to him, like a lot. I was like,
I know.
Did you check
It's
the
nothing
video?
against
Did you
anybody
really?
in
He
here.
didn't even
Just
answer me.
I get sick of the dancing,
Yeah, and he kept going- yeah.
the shuffling.
Circular logic again, fallacious shit again, appeals to cringe.
Yeah, you just repeat yourself and it becomes true by magic.
Like it's worse than a child. Like I have easier conversations with children. I work with kids, 10 and younger, and they're easier. They have better logical faculties than these people.
I had a problem with him when he said that he didn't care about the measurement. What? Your globe is dependent on the Earth curve calculator. Everything is dependent on that, and you don't care about that? That's when I blew up. So yeah, that's when I blew up. Sorry.
At least they'll let you lead them. They'll let you lead them down a line of logic and follow you. People are so stubborn. It's a fight to even lead them down a line of logic without them, bucking and fighting every step of the way.
It's also a question of like why people are here. Are they here to learn? Are they here to be intellectually honest? Or are they just here to get to say what they want to say and act the way they want to act before they get booted?
Swong, if you want to jump up into VC check-in, we'll work on getting you a speaking role. I think there's some other ones in here. I don't know if anyone spoke to Rebel of Light, and I saw another one somewhere. But Swong, I'll follow you up there. Has anyone ever spoke to Rebel of Light? It's VC verified.
No, but I'm gonna calm down now and go back to squeezing my balls.
Nice. Sounds like you squeezed them very hard already.
Well, I had to. I said, get off the pot because he wasn't.
Oh my God, your voice is getting higher pitched. When you get really going, it's like you're knocking him out of the room at this point.
Well, if it takes 30 minutes for him to get to his point after going through that really long observation, quote unquote, which he doesn't have evidence for. So I want to see the evidence of that observation first before we have to go all the way through that explanation.
And you literally had to force him to take any stand on what he was saying because he just waffled into the air saying nothing because he didn't want to actually take a stand on anything, so he couldn't actually say anything about what he was saying because then he can keep waffling, right?
Yeah, this is like a different eggshells, a different kind of eggshells, but still like an eggshells. We'll tap dance at the center of the crossroads.
We have Velser too. Velser is VC verified. I don't know if anyone's ever spoken to them.
No, I've spoken a few times today. I'm good.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Well,
So how's your day been?
I missed it when you spoke. Speak again. Tell me what you said when you spoke. Now, so where are you at on your, what brought you here?
A few links directed me to the server. I know I'm being very vague. So more specifically, I've been not a part of, but I've understood the idea of the flat Earth for probably 8 years now, and I just happened to join the server. That's really the end of it.
Oh, so you're a flat earther.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm not a label. I'm not a label type of person, but I believe that the Earth is not round.
right. You understand tape measures.
See, there's mountains, so I'm not going to call the world flat, you know? Because that in itself is a fallacy.
What's your favorite or top thing that proves that the Earth is not a ball?
My favorite proof?
Yeah.
I never thought of it.
Oh, first thing comes to mind.
Well, it's not a proof. It's actually a fallacy to say, but probably the idea that NASA is a fake.
I get what you mean. It you know, kind of fucks their credibility. So I get what you mean. This can be one of the first clues, at least. Do you have anything else that you like?
None that comes to mind right now. No.
Nothing.
I just enjoy the fact that it's flat.
Very interesting.
Apparently, he spent 8 years like chasing his tail or something. Like, I don't know what you spent 8 years doing being a flat earther. Didn't the other guy that came in earlier with the space video also say he was a flat earther for 8 years?
All right, let's put it in perspective real quick. If you
like,
are
let's
taught,
put it in perspective. Like, why would they lie?
Things at the top of my head.
If you're taught at a young age that the Earth is round, then you will go about your day knowing that the Earth is round. However, if you learn also, or if you learn instead that the Earth is flat, you're going to go about your day probably knowing that the Earth is flat. That is exactly what happened to me. I wasn't obsessed with it. I didn't seek out a whole bunch of stuff about it. I just observed some things here and there, maybe watched a documentary here or there, downloaded something, saved it to like a bunch of folders, and eventually ended up here.
Well, I think you sound sus, no offense.
Suspect? All right.
Yeah.
Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, prove to us that you're not suspect. Shot ball stuff you downloaded.
He described belief to begin with, as if it was both beliefs. He described knowing as beliefs because you just learned it, like somebody just taught it to you. And the fact that he can't just name a obvious globe destroyer off the top of his head, like most flat earthers can. That's the second thing I'm sus of.
Sure.
And then it's just,
all right.
So here's the funny thing. When you do these types of...
We have a lot of trolls that show up and say they're flat earthers, but yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right.
I just want to say, you know, when you guys try these LARPs, it says more about you than it does about us, because it tells us what you think we believe, because you're trying to emulate what you think we believe. You got it all wrong.
That's the biggest sign.
Go back to the drawing board, get a new shtick, and come back. Better fake.
Oh, you're right. You caught it.
Yeah, what'd you think we were, stupid flat earthers? Is that what you thought?
The funny part about his speech is that it's like it's making us like criminals, you know. Why are you so obsessed about it? Like, just go on with your day, you know, nothing important here.
It's not the worst impression I've heard. I mean, I've heard way worse ones. But like, hey, he's not the worst guy.
May I interject here for a moment? Is that all right? So I made no claim that you all are obsessed with the flat Earth. That was not something I was trying to assert at all. I was saying
why you
that
came in here to lie?
not obsessed.
Is that why you came in here to lie? Because we're obsessed. We have the problem. We have the problem. This came in here to lie, and we have a problem. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
I think it's a case of him not realizing.
Assessment.
You fucking mentally ill?
He probably just doesn't realize that the only reason people came to realize that it's flat is because we wanted to prove the globe. So we went out to look for evidence of the globe. We were on the globe side. But then when you look for it, you realize, oh wait, there's no goddamn evidence. It's freaking flat. And that's why we're here.
So you asked me the simple question, what is your favorite proof that the Earth is flat? And I did not offer one. Why? Because I don't have a favorite proof. And the reason for that was 8 years ago, I was introduced to the idea of the flat Earth. And I watched some documentaries, and namely, it was my parents that got me into it. And from there, it was just, you know, it was a belief.
This is a terrible LARP. And I used to LARP in the server. This is a terrible LARP.
All right, if that's what you truly believe in, then or if that's what you think, then
I don't
I'm just
believe
terrible
that.
at
I am
presenting.
totally against. I'm not assessed.
All right, that's cool.
I don't see it, guys. Not yet, anyway. There's no reason to push it and act as if we already
I'll tell you
know.
why I think. I'm a second wave flat earther, meaning that I saw like Mark Sargent, Eric Dubay, Jeranism videos in 2015, right? So by the time of like mid 2015, right? So anyone that's before me, right? They would have to be like one of the people that were like making videos, right? Or maybe they watched videos a few months before me, like a year, right? But anyone who says that they've been doing this for 8 years is automatically suspect, because if they knew 8 years ago that the Earth was flat, they should have been like making YouTube channel or talking about it, because it's like finding out that the Matrix is real and just I didn't care. I wasn't interested. I didn't tell nobody. It didn't affect me.
I'm a little more on y'all side. My bad. I the 8 years part.
And don't forget, his parents are flat earthers
Hold
too.
on. I'm thinking about new people that can't readily access this information, and they're being fed the other stuff.
His
and they just
parents are
started
flat
looking
earthers.
2
So
years
how long
ago.
has he lived in a flat earth household? 20 years? 30 years?
Can I also say something real quick? Maybe we should end ladies' night since most of the ladies left and the boys are joining in. So, should we do an official ending to this or what?
I'm sorry, I thought it was over.
Yeah, I know. It's because most of the ladies already left. There's only a few of us left, and we did start getting assistance because there's so few of us. And I'm thinking it's kind of the end of it. Shouldn't we just do an official ending?
Yeah, so I think Helio would like, normally he said like, yeah, maybe Karma, if you'd like to just say, okay, thank you, and do a round out so Helio knows when to end it.
Okay, so just thank you everybody for showing up for Ladies' Night. We appreciate you being here, whether it's ladies or gentlemen. We also appreciate the support and new people coming in. Shout out to all the ladies for doing a great job. I know I wasn't here for all of it, but thanks everybody. Have an awesome night, and I look forward to the boys jumping in. Yeah, I guess that's it. Sorry,
All right, boys, let's get in there. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much, ladies.
That was
awesome.
good. Thanks, Karma.